Hello and welcome to the Cool JDM show, streaming live on Pacific Coast Auto.
But Abs,
what up?
Just how cool is it?
Man, so cool I describe it as frigid, cooler than a penguin soaking in an ice bath.
Damn, that's cool.
Yep, you're right about that. Cooler than a Fonz, fixing an appliance with nothing more than a smack to the side of it. I'm talking cooler than cool, cooler than a February cannonball into a pool. So cool, indeed, so cool that it's cold.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The Cool JDM show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cool JDM show. I'm the host, Derek Weldon, and I'm here with Maximilian Scheffler.
Hello.
And we are also here with Grant, but he is very busy today, and he has given us a warning that he might not be able to join the show as much as he usually does.
Yep.
And
as you can hear.
That goes to prove it. And so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the cicadas in Japan. They are on a return, and you're going to be hearing them pretty soon. We also have a video on the Drives Japan YouTube channel that we're going to be talking about, and it is fantastic as usual. We'll talk about Grant's broken car once again, and if Grant is available, he can complain about how his car keeps breaking. Then, also PCA got a new sales record. Bling!
Ooh, we were very happy yesterday.
We have some news about reports. We've got a sighting of a brand new car here in Japan, and then we've got your Q&A at the end. But before we get into any of that is the main topic of the day, which I think is a brilliant one if you're looking to be importing cars from Japan, because this is all the information that you need to know to make sure you know the things that you need to know.
Very specific, yes.
So the topic is what, Max?
Easy versus impossible cars you can buy from Japan. Or not, because impossible. But, yeah.
You're technically correct. There are impossible cars to buy from Japan, I suspect. But we also have some gray area in there. And so not only the easy ones and the difficult ones, but the ones in between and how you can determine that. Because we get a lot of questions when people are buying cars from us saying, I want to buy this car, tell me about it. And it's like, what do you know about this car? Have you determined if this is an easy one or a difficult one? Are you doing your bid strategy according to what you should be doing on a difficult to buy car? And that sort of thing. I think if you listen to this episode, it'll give you, it'll put you in a position of much better preparedness for buying a car from us.
Yeah.
And that helps both of us, right?
Pretty much.
This is not a PCA trying to fix consumer behavior episode. Nothing like that. Honestly, buying cars from Japan in general, I think, as long as you just as long as you go and do it, you're going to probably succeed. It's very unlikely that you don't succeed. But I think a lot of people are a little bit afraid, especially on the first time. Like, what does this involve? How likely is it? Am I going to get a car that I want? These sorts of things. And so, yeah, we get a little bit of foreshadowing, but anyone who's like, hey, I want to buy a classic Mini from Japan. And we're like, whoa, put the brakes on, man. This here is a very difficult car to buy from Japan. And they're like, what? Doesn't Japan have more of them than any other country? And it's true. Yeah. But at the same time, it doesn't make it easy to buy. Okay, so we'll jump into it. Enough messing around here. The easy versus impossible cars to buy from Japan. Now, keep in mind, you can play at home if you want. You can log into auction.pacificcoastjdm.com, where you can browse all of the auctions here in Japan, and you can look at what's available and what has sold and how much it's sold for, and all of that good information to help you be prepared for whether or not importing is right for you. So
for free.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
just putting it out there for free.
Yeah. Okay, so it can be difficult depending on which type of car that you buy. And so what I've done is I put together a 5-point program for you. Do I feel like a teacher at a university? This is your 5-step program. And if you remember these 5 steps, then this is going to make you better prepared for it. And then after we're done the 5... What?
You sound like one of those course bros online, like, buy my 5-step
Yeah,
plan.
there's...
Instead, we're doing it for free. But also, someone said, hardest vehicle to buy from PCA is a motorcycle. Boom.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
So after talking about my 5-step program that you can become rich at, just buy our program that doesn't exist. Then we will go through some examples of cars at auction, and then we're going to work together with you to determine or see how well you have listened to our show. It's a little bit of a... Actually, it's not a quiz. We're just going to be talking about it. It's easier to understand things if there is an example of it, so we will have some examples.
We want to do a quiz, but at the moment we are very tight on time.
You're talking about like a general car quiz?
General car idea quiz.
A bunch of people have reached out for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 5 steps, I'm going to explain what they are. I'm going to say what they are here and then explain them one at a time. The first one is, how easy is it to determine the price of the car? Okay, so price of the car is one of the points.
One of the points in order to determine if it's easy or not.
Right. Next one, the certainty of the condition. And so when you look at the listing, how certain are you of the condition that you're going to be getting? That's another thing that can make the cars more difficult or easier to buy. The next one is a risk of problems. Okay. That one is pretty self-explanatory. The next one is, how many chances do you get at this car? So in other words, is this a car that you're going to be a one and done, or is it a car that you're going to have plenty of chances because there are so many of them available? And then the next one is the importance of getting it right. That one requires a little bit more explanation of what it particularly means, so we will get to that. And then after that, a few special rules of thumb that will help you out. So the first one here is the determinants of the price. So a couple of points here. We need to look at the amount that are available at the time, and then use that for checking the past sales history of the car. And so we'll outline the easy and the difficult. The easy one is there are currently 4,000 of them in the sales history, and so you can get a good understanding about how much it costs.
You have more data to base up.
Difficult would be anything below about 15 in the last 3 months. Yeah. If it's below that, it becomes very difficult to price. And knowing the expected prices at auction make the car either much easier or much more difficult to buy. If you don't know, you're going to be sitting there scratching your head the entire time going, oh, what should I bid? And then you'll email Grant, and he'll probably have a good answer for you anyway.
And that's the same for probably all of the other people who bid on that car too.
Yeah.
Like, everyone is just throwing in what they think they would pay for it.
There is a little bit of a, like if you can't find enough cars at auction because it's too rare, there are other ways that you can take a look and understand the prices for them. Plenty of these cars that are super rare, the reason why you're buying them from Japan is because you can't find them in your own country. And as a result, you can maybe look in a broader market. How much does this car cost around the world? And then extrapolate from there. Keep in mind that the Japanese auctions are dealer auctions. You get dealer prices. It's going to be lower than the world price of the car, almost certainly. And so what I like to do is take the world price of a car and knock about 20% off of that. And that's a good rule of thumb for understanding pricing on a car that's otherwise very difficult to buy.
No, good point. Good point.
So, next point there is it a classic car or one that has a world price? That's going back to a lot of the same point there. A classic car is, generally speaking, going to be a little bit, it's odd to think, but can be a little bit easier to buy because prices don't deviate all that much because conditions tend to all be very good. This is a point I think is overlooked frequently. If you buy a 20-year-old Prius, the conditions are going to be wildly different. Because it's a Prius, some people will take good care of their Prius and some people won't. Makes sense, right? And every year, the difference between those gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But when it comes to a classic car, like say you're looking at a
air-cooled Porsche G model.
Yes, but I feel like that one's just a little bit different. I was going to go with something like a Ferrari, which as soon as the person buys it, they know you can't drive this car very much. You have to maintain it very well, yada, yada, yada. This car will always stay in the same condition. The air-cooled Porsches, they're a different story because they were a daily driver for most of their life, and they only became very expensive after the fact. Okay. Next one, how far off is the condition? This is still for determining the price. How far off is the condition of the one that you're looking at compared to the average? This is very much the Prius that we were just talking about. And so the general Prius will be in this condition, and some of them will be in this condition, and some in this condition. There will be a bell curve for this, right? All Are people following me when I say bell curve? Am I talking like a professor
Yeah.
or one of those influencers? So the bell curve is basically very few of them are in trashy condition, more of them are in average condition, and very few of them are in great condition. And if you're looking for one either in the trashy condition or the great condition, it can be very difficult to determine how much those ones sell for because you don't have too many to price them against.
Yeah.
Right? So when pricing a car, I'll usually pick the car, pick the year range that I want to go with, and then pick the mileage range, because mileage is probably the easiest way to determine where it fits in that bell curve.
But then if you only have 2 in the last 3 months that you think would be an appropriate condition that you're looking for,
Hard category.
hard category, yeah.
Yeah.
The Prius bell theory.
Thank you, chat, for coming in for that. I need your help here.
Ethan.
Uh,
We make this a thing. Stick a Prius bell theory, and it's a little bell curve with a Prius inside.
yeah, we can put it on a shirt, and we can start selling our first merch, our first and only merch. No PCA shirts, just Prius bell curve. And you want a motorcycle piss off shirt. Next one is, are the prices tightly packed or spread out? And so you take a look at your car, you put Prius into the auction tool, which again, we're going to show you how to do in a second here. And then you look at all the Priuses that have sold, and then you can get a good idea of where the price curve sits. And on some cars, they are very tightly packed. I'm thinking a 2-year-old car has almost no variance in prices. But once a car is 15, 25 years old, it gets a very big variance in prices. That makes them more difficult to price and therefore more difficult to buy. Once a car becomes very old and classic, like your air-cooled Porsches or like the Hakoska Skyline, they tend to become narrow again in prices because conditions of the surviving ones tend to be all very good because they've been restored. We're also seeing this with the Skyline GTRs.
Or at that point, it doesn't matter if you get a good one or a bad one. It's already hard to get anyone.
Right. That's the 2000 GT explanation. You either buy one or you don't.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose your condition. One comes up every 2 years.
Impossible.
Okay, so next point. So all of those were determining of the price. And as an overview of that, if you can easily determine the price of a car, you can easily, it makes it easier to buy the car because one of the difficulties is figuring out how much it costs. Not necessarily affording, that's a different thing, but figuring out what something costs is very much part of the difficulty in buying something. The next is the certainty of the condition. So you're going to be buying a car from auction, and you want to be as certain as possible, but there are some vehicles that are very easy to be certain of and some that are very difficult to be certain of. So firstly, this is determined mostly on the age of the vehicle. We're going back again, a 2-year-old car, very easy to know the condition of the car. Of course, the auction sheets explain the condition, but the older that the car gets, the less accurately the condition can be explained. A good example of this is if there's rust that has been repaired on the car, the auction sheet might show W2 repainted panel. Now, W2 repainted panel on a 5-year-old car means somebody scraped the side of the car and it was repaired. Probably done by insurance, probably a pretty good job. If it's W2 on the entirety of a Land Cruiser that is 50 years old, then we can assume that that one is in, I don't know condition. I went through this with my Corolla, 1972 Corolla. I bought it knowing that this is the case. Rust repairs have been done, but how well have they been done? And the auction sheet can't really help you determine that. And so this becomes a very difficult car to buy when there is a variance in expected conditions.
Is there anything customers could do?
Unfortunately, with something like the rust there, you're kind of out of luck. So that's a very, very specific type of thing. In fact, a 50-year-old car is a very difficult car to buy because we've got 2 different angles to buy. You can buy from a car dealership that specializes in classic cars, that is going to the auction and determining that the car is good ahead of time. And they're adding an extra 30% onto the price, which is $30,000 maybe, $50,000 depending on the type of car it is. Or you can buy from auction. You don't know what you're going to get. You're taking a big risk, but you're saving that money. Neither of them are really good, right?
Also, some of the dealers might not know or state that it's been in an accident or something.
Well, I mean,
Some do.
yes and no. If you were a
Yeah.
Japanese buyer going to the car dealer here in Japan and you bought a car and they didn't tell you that it had been in an accident, you could take them to court.
Ah.
But
Okay.
if you're an overseas buyer and you do the same thing, the chances are very slim that you're going to come through with something, because it's not that easy to go to court with a car dealer in another country,
Yeah, that's true.
because it'll take you a year and a half to go through the processes of mediation and arbitration,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't actually go to trial.
Some-
Okay, the next one is has the car been modified? And so remember, we're talking about the certainty of the condition, and a modified car absolutely ramps up the difficulty in buying a car, because again, you don't know what you're getting. It could have been a car modified by a dude in his garage that didn't know what he was doing with poor quality. Yours is not the type of car I'm talking about. Most of these cars can be easy to anticipate because they'll have a laundry list of modifications on the car, particularly kind of medium end ones. So by medium end, I mean aftermarket turbos on it or LSDs. So light level modification is exhaust, wheels, suspension,
Yeah.
air
that's-
intake, maybe turbo timer, something like that.
Yeah.
Medium level is aftermarket turbos, ECU tuning and stuff like that, but nothing that goes inside the engine. And then a high level tune inside of the engine, I would trust that car a little bit more because it had to have been done by a shop instead of somebody in a garage, because
Yeah.
building an engine in Japan by yourself is simply something that just doesn't
Not-
happen here.
You could do it like the guy we featured on the show last week, like just have your rotary engine rebuilt in the apartment.
Of all things to try to do, a rotary engine is simple, but that doesn't make it easy to do, especially in an apartment.
Ah.
So yes, a modified car, you're absolutely ramping up the difficulty because you don't know the certainty of the condition of it. And to make something easy, you want to be certain of what you're getting when you're putting your money down.
One more point. If a car is modified, you never know at what time it was modified. So it could be really old modifications, or it could be really new modifications.
There are
The
ways to read between the lines for that, but you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. And when someone spends a lot of money on modifications and then is selling the car, why are they selling the car?
They got kids.
Or this car has become too much of a headache for me, so it's going out and I'm getting a BRZ.
Hint.
Is that a hint? Actually,
Maybe.
I was just
Yeah.
thinking about, like, if you're into a performance car and you don't want headaches, a BRZ is just a good
Yeah,
pick.
at the moment, absolutely.
Okay, and then the next one, does the car have known mileage? And again, we're looking at how predictable of a condition are you getting. An unknown mileage car is going to be very low prediction of a condition.
Mm-hmm. Some people like the gamble. Many of the people in the chat do.
Yep. And so let me just state this so that it is clear. Just because a car is hard to buy doesn't mean you shouldn't be buying it. There's absolutely reasons you should be buying a hard to buy car.
Yeah.
And all the cars I love are technically hard to buy, because I think people know by now I like my cars a little on the old side, and that absolutely ramps it up. The Honda
Yeah.
City, unknown mileage because it's a 5-digit odometer and a 40-plus-year-old car.
Hard to buy.
Absolutely. And a car that you can't, this is a point that's coming up later, but a car that's hard to put back together if it's not what you're expecting.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next of the 5 points. So we have determine the price. Okay. The certainty of the condition. The next one is the risk of problems. Now, this one, your ability and your understanding of the industry goes a long way here. If you know cars well and know what to look out for what cars, it puts you at an advantage. And so you can be a more successful importer and reseller of cars, if that's what you're looking to do, if your understanding of cars is higher. I would caution you, though, there is a lot of misinformation out there about the reliability of cars. If you go to use AI as well, it's pulling information from Reddit from a lot of people who don't necessarily know what they're talking about. And
Yeah.
in the car industry,
Yeah.
I've said this a million times, you get people who value the accumulation of car knowledge as a currency. What these people are doing are going to car shows and then trying to prove how smart that they are. It's just a car guy thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but they will hold on to knowledge, whether it's right or wrong, and could be very well repeating that because that becomes secondary to actually knowing the knowledge. I fall into this all the time, especially if you've been doing it for a while, because you don't remember where you got the knowledge from, but you just know it's right.
But it's also interesting when I see you do a quick Google search and you get AI overview on the top of the Google search, and then you get a list of cars, and you as someone who has been in the industry for so long, knowing a lot about cars, you look at it and it's like, wow, this is so wrong. So don't trust.
I am a little bit worried about the future of car knowledge as far as AI
The
goes.
waters get muddied by saying that there is a Toyota Nissan Pao.
No, what was that? It was a Toyota Nissan Note.
Toyota Nissan Note.
Yeah, I was using AI to compile lists of cars for some. I don't even remember what reason I was doing. Oh, the best-selling car from every year.
Yeah,
was the
one
topic
was-
we
one
were
was
discussing, and I wanted to see how much like the same car would be the best-selling car for how long of a distance. So I just needed a quick answer,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, oh, the N-Box I know is the highest-selling car, but for how many of the last few years has it been the highest-selling? And
Yeah.
it ended up telling me that the Toyota Nissan Note was one of the highest-selling cars. But I happen, just like Max says, I happen to know a lot about cars, and I know that there's no such thing as a Toyota Nissan Note. Okay, so back to risk of problems. And so how many known problems are there for the car that you're interested in, and how severe are those known problems? Keep that in mind. Do a little research beforehand. We know a bunch of that, especially because we've bought and sold and gone through our hands thousands of cars, so we've seen firsthand what cars can tend to be a little bit unreliable. RX-7, excuse me.
BMWs?
BMWs are not so bad as long as you're not Mike.
Okay.
If you're
Makes
watching
sense.
Mike.
Yeah.
The next guy coming in to replace Mike is a BMW fanboy. So it's going to be a big change in the culture of the office. No longer are we going to hear complaints about BMWs.
There's a question from Ethan. What's the worst story? Do we want to save that for the Q&A?
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
Yeah. The worst story is kind of a little bit of a different topic than this. This is what's easy and difficult. And even if something is an easy buy, you can have a bad story. And just because something's a hard buy doesn't mean you're going to get a bad story. So, next one for risk of problems. Is the car older than 15 years old? This one goes specifically out to our USA buyers who may not realize that once a car is 25 years old, it is well past the original intended life of that vehicle. So every car you can import into the USA is past its usable life, basically. And now you are owning a car in a different respect. This is why we handle mostly niche-type vehicles. We don't sell an awful lot of the boring middle-of-the-road cars. We're kind of an enthusiast company when selling to the USA because only enthusiasts are looking for 25-year-old cars.
Yeah.
Okay. Has the car been heavily modified or raced? Absolutely high risk of problems for modifications or raced. What type of people are modifying their cars? People that are going to drive them hard.
Which I'm not.
Probably not
really.
you.
Yeah. Sometimes I do.
You have to look at averages here. There are lots of people like you who modify cars and treat them really well.
And drive them hard from time to time, but not all the time.
But I would think that your average modifier of cars, as you go up in level of modifications, maybe there's the bell curve here too. The suspension, wheels, exhaust is maybe going...
The average.
Yeah.
But
then once it's a highly tuned car, you get that fear of breaking it after you've spent 15 grand on an engine rebuild, right?
Although if I would do an engine rebuild, I would have less fear of breaking the engine because I trust it more.
Yeah, I don't know if I would, knowing everything I know about engine rebuilds. You are pushing the tolerances to their limits when you're tuning, right?
Yeah.
And so theoretically, you are that much closer to the oopsie moment.
For example, that fit that we saw the other day that Grant found with the whole back window was plastered with stickers of every toge that is famous for driving fast
The
on.
toga is the mountain roads, right?
Yeah, the mountain roads. And it had wheels, tires, suspension, a straight pipe, and gauges. So that thing probably had a life.
It was cool, though. And with a fit, the original price is so low, it's not a big risk.
Yeah.
And they're reliable.
Yeah.
So maybe not as bad as you think it is.
Question from Gregor in regards to modifications. Does it depend on the type of car? Like a modified Euro car, more or less likely for it to be thrashed or not?
So when we're explaining all of this is basically your averages, and there are always going to be exceptions to the rule here. And so every single car that we see an auction sheet of, we're now kind of sorting it into where we think the risk portfolio is for this car, how easy or how hard it is to buy. And then when we feel like there's a red enough flag, like, oh, that's a buyer, I don't know how good that they are at understanding these things. Now it's time for us to step in and give a little bit of a warning. Mm-hmm. So experienced buyers will do this less with as we get to know you as a buyer better. To answer the question about whether Euro cars are going to be thrashed as much, probably not. But at the same time, Euro cars tend to be a little bit more delicate as well. Yeah. And so if they are going to be thrashed, then they might take on higher or more costly damages.
Think about it this way. This is something that I noticed when moving here. The domestic market of European cars in Europe is much cheaper. So, of course, in Europe, people modify the German cars. You have more shops, more parts, easier availability. So it's cheaper to do. If you get a Japanese car in Europe, it's not as cheap to do as if you would have a Golf 5 GTI ready for the Nürburgring. You are just adding on complexity for the hobby of driving hard. And I think it's the same thing here in Japan. If you want to have a
Lupo GTI for
Lupo
a race
GTI,
car?
it's harder to get parts, it's harder to get knowledge. It's just more hassle to keep it running.
That was a dumb idea, but God, I love that car.
Yeah. And so maybe European cars are not that thrashed most of the time. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
The caveat episode.
Yeah.
So absolutely, if it's a heavily modified car or a race car, then you are making your purchase process more difficult. If it is a stock car or a lightly modified car, that makes it a little bit more easy.
Yeah.
Okay. On to the next one. Is the car a camper?
Is the car a camper?
If the car is a camper, you are adding 5 out of 10 points to any other reason why the car might be easy or difficult. At least 5 points.
So you could go over the 10 points maximum if, yeah.
Yeah, campers, a lot of people want them, and Japanese campers are super sweet, but just like I was talking about with the classic car dealers, we have the same problem. If you buy one from a dealer, you get more information about the camper. They're going to add a lot of markup on it. If you buy from auction, you get it for cheap. You don't know a lot about it. But campers are more than just a car. They're a car and a house.
Yeah.
And they probably haven't been maintained well because go camping, go camping, go camping. Rest of the year, forget about it. Forget about the maintenance. Yeah. Forget about repairing things.
We have a camper coming up on the PCA channel since like I don't know when the last camper video ever went up. 5 years, 6 years ago?
No way. We keep telling people not to buy campers. That's why. Actually, we let all of our dealers buy campers, but individual customers have to get our permission first. We have to kind of vet them and make sure that
they know. Which, yeah. If you watch the stream all the time, you probably are up there. Maybe.
You're trying to get people to watch the stream, aren't you? You watch the stream, you'll get smarter than everybody else. And boy, is that great.
Gregor was asking, are you doing campus again?
Yeah, we are. But again...
caveats.
Yeah, we have to make sure that this is the right thing for you, because, like, for one, we don't want to have the reputation of just allowing people to get in over their heads when they're making a purchase. Beyond that, if a camper breaks, it's like so much more risky than most people think, because campers are too big to fit onto regular carriers. If one breaks here in Japan, then it needs to have a special tow at a very expensive price. The ferries that move cars around, like if we buy a car from Kyushu, it gets ferried up to Tokyo and then driven to us or something like that. The ferries won't accept campers if they're broken. Or any car that's broken, really. And so the car has to be repaired there. And it's like, oh, we bought the car from Kitakyushu. How many camper stores do we know there? None. Oh, can we send it to the shops that we know about in that area? Nope, we don't take campers.
Yeah.
It's a handful of problems. So we try to kind of shy away from anyone who's like, if they buy a camper and then it breaks down and then they're going to be like, what'd you guys do? We're going to be like, you know, maybe it was you that wasn't ready for this when we told you that if the car breaks down, have $5,000 in your pocket to handle that.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Mini rant finished. The next one after the camper is, does the car have unknown mileage? Now, this one we're hearing again, but in this one, it's the risk of problems category. And unknown mileage cars absolutely are going to have a higher risk of problems. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one, and this one is a special one for all you broke boys like me.
That's not true.
Until recently.
Yeah.
I absolutely lived the broke boy life up until a very short time ago.
Yeah.
So buying the lowest 30% of a specific car. Stay away from those cars. You are absolutely ramping up the risk of problems, more so than you think to. You'd think, oh, I'm buying the cheapest of the car. Of course, I'm going to take on more problems. But that's without realizing that for a lot of cars, people want to get into the car that they can't afford. And so they're going to be stretching their budget just to make it into the very lowest 30% of that car's price range. And that means that the majority of the buyers for that car are in that bottom 30%, making it hyper competitive with other bidders.
Which drives up the price.
Right.
Totally.
And we have absolutely seen mid-grade cars sell for less than cars we expect to be crappy.
Oh.
We just bought that Land Cruiser with 400,000 kilometers. That's what happened there. Yeah, so stay away from the bottom 30%. Just get a better car, especially for the USA, because maintenance of the car is going to be a bigger problem than you think for the 25-year-old car. If you're shooting for the bottom, then you are asking for trouble in the maintenance department. Okay, so that is determine the price, certainty of condition, risk of problems, and now we're on to the fourth. How many chances do you get? This one goes without saying. A car that is coming up for auction all the time will be easier to buy than one that doesn't come up for auction very often.
Yeah.
And so, first one, is the car a limited edition model? And does that get your tenderloin excited?
Your spider senses tingling.
So if you find a 10-year anniversary edition Aristo, whatever.
17,000
one of
kilometer
those-
Hilux pickup truck.
Like the one we shot yesterday for
Yes.
the channel.
Yes.
Right. And so, like, a car that's going to come up for auction all the time and you're going to have plenty of chances makes it a lot easier because you don't have that I need to get it now or I don't get it kind of feeling. If it is a one and done, then you're going to be in trouble. Limited edition cars, like I was going into details on, it depends on how much you value the limited edition side of that. And so, like a Tom's 280T, you might see 2 or 3 times a year at this point.
Yeah.
But then so that's an Altezza, right? Is there a limited edition Altezza that's really nothing?
No, like the RS200Z edition.
Qualcomm? What's that
Qualitat?
called? Qualitat?
Yeah, more limited. You see them every now and then, but it's getting.
But nobody's like, need that.
Some are.
Some
But
crazy
it's
people are.
I don't think for the Altezza it's like just because it's a Qualitat, people will pay extra more. The really good ones go for more, way more. The really bad ones are just slightly above the normal ones. That's what I at least saw.
If you had a chance to buy one at the same price as your car, would you go for it? Is it worth it enough?
I would
for
like
you?
to have the Qualitat. Yeah, it has nice red interior and like rare body parts. You know, the first one I bid on when I wanted to buy a car was a Qualitat. It was way above what I wanted to pay.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many chances do you get? Limited edition cars, it might be a one and done, and so you have to determine how much you care about getting the limited edition version. Let's open this up. Oh no, I talk about that in more details later,
Okay.
so let's just wait for that. The next one, is the car rare enough that you only get limited chances? So this is just like the limited edition cars, except it is just the type of car that it is. So something like a Ken Mary version of the GTR, they only made, geez, how many did they make? 200 of? 198, I think. Ken Mary GTRs.
Yeah.
That one becomes very difficult to buy, and so therefore you have to compensate by throwing more money onto the table.
Would you say if a car is that rare, the risk of condition goes down?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And so keep in mind, all of these 5 points, imagine that they've got a scale of 1 to 10 for difficulty, and then you add all of those up, and that's your core difficulty for how difficult a car is to buy. And so if a car is a super limited edition car, like a Ken Mary, but they're always in perfect condition, so you've got like a 10 on one and a 1 on another, it's like the
We should
rational
put that into the option tool,
decision-making
like a little
matrix.
calculation that shows you
The
the
problem
score.
is you need the human touch for this. There's
Yeah.
no way
I
that
know.
AI could figure everything like that out.
Mm.
Not even close. Next one.
Dr. Pasta said the risk of market manipulation for these cars goes up though.
Yeah.
If you have a car that only 10 of them exist and one decides, I'm going to sell my car for 10 million yen, that's the market price.
I agree with that, but I don't think that's what market manipulation is.
Mm.
Like, if you've got a car that's rare enough that you get to set the price, this is something outside of a car. Market manipulation, in my mind, would be more like, this is a fairly rare car, and I'm targeting every single one that I can buy, no matter the condition, so that I can control the supply.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which, what's that shop in the U.S. that does that with Figaro's?
Don't pull punches. There's also one question about the Rarity that I
We
wanna
also
ask.
have customers that do the same thing. They'll buy all of the certain model that they can so that they can corner a market. And as much as, like, from a car enthusiast point of view, it sucks, but, like, business is cutthroat at the same time. And so, like, it can be a valuable way to do business, as much as I hate it. Sorry, you were saying?
There's one question about Rarity that I want to ask you when you finished the 0.4 out of the 5 points.
Oh, we're in 0.5 out of the 5.
Okay, then
Oh,
the
no, I almost screwed up. You saved me there, Max. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Producer Max. Next one is pay attention to the supply and the demand. Now, this one is a very broad way of, like, in general, the supply and the demand is the core factor. That is the umbrella that all of these are under.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like how many chances do you get? You need to focus on the supply and the demand of them, because certain cars that are obviously a car that's low supply, high demand is going to be difficult to buy. But there's also some weird caveats there where a car is low supply, low demand, or high supply, high demand.
Like the Tercel?
This Tercel is absolutely
Low
a low
demand?
supply, low demand kind of car.
Yeah.
And they can be all sorts of, like, I don't know, question marks and how difficult they are to buy. In those cases, when it's me, I just throw too much money at them and then, or let them pass because I don't want to risk spending too much and then regret it when I see the end price.
Oh, that Tercel especially, I was like, if I would have the money, I would just like, I want it. I don't know.
And another one in chances to get them is a little bit of a weird tale in the car's desirability over time. I think something like an S13 S13 Silvia, like the one that we had, the super low mileage one,
Which is going up next on the channel.
This. So S13 Silvia, when it came out, a very popular car, sold tons and tons and tons and tons of them. And then 15 years later, well, there are other cool cars that those people want, right?
It's 15.
Exactly. Very much exactly. So the S13 falls in popularity and therefore in price. And then it becomes cheap enough that people don't care about them. They start driving them sideways into walls at an alarming rate.
Story of the A86,
Absolutely,
exactly.
absolutely. And then so few of them are left at that point, and the desirability for the car then ramps up. The 86 is probably even better than the S13 as an example for that.
Maybe FRS, BRZ, 86, that will happen to those again.
And so the chances to get one when you have a car that's like that can be very tricky, because you want to get a good one, but the prices for the good ones become so expensive because there's so few good ones left. And so now you're navigating a sea of crappy raced cars, rusty cars, and then good ones, and then it becomes difficult to price these.
Yeah.
You're also worried about condition of them. They're older cars, and pretty much everything we've talked about comes into play. You got to watch the episode twice so that you get all of this information in your brain.
Now the question from Grego. How about rare colors for common cars? Are there any premiums for those?
It highly depends on the make and the model. A yellow Evo 5 very, very much will add to the price. Or a yellow Type R Civic with the yellow seats absolutely will affect the price.
The blue edition DC5 Type R with the blue seats inside and the blue carpets?
Yeah, that one not so much. I
But
feel
it's
like that one might increase the price about 20%, which is definitely something. But the yellow Civic will double the price.
Yeah.
Or like the Skylines are famous for this, right? The Midnight Purple one, or no, The Midnight Purple 2 on the R34,
Mm-hmm.
they made like a handful of or something like that, and they absolutely will increase the price. Very car specific. And then obviously there are cars that have a rare paint, but nobody really cares about the rare paint.
Hello Kitty edition Daihatsu Move, for example. As
I would
Ambush
pay
says
extra
in
for
the
that.
chat.
Put the Pearl Heart wheels on it.
We should get the Hello Kitty edition Daihatsu Move. That would go well with our Hello Kitty key bag that we keep the keys in.
Yeah.
That was a little inside. We have a little bag with all the keys and it's Hello Kitty bag.
One of our staff gave it to us as a present, and it's very cute. And Jacob, probably the most manly out of all of us, carries it around.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last category is the importance of getting it right. Now, this one is specific for the very difficult to buy cars. How important is it that you get this purchase right?
What do you mean by that? Explain further, please.
And so we've got 3 points here, and you have to really describe the points to understand what we mean by this. So the first one is the car expensive. And why that matters is because if you buy the car and it's a very expensive car, you don't get another chance to buy that car because now you're invested in that car. And if things go wrong, then you can't make your money off for it.
Depends how much money you have, of course.
If it's expensive relative to your desire to spend money on cars, so to speak.
Yeah, relativity is the key.
And I think that one pretty much makes sense because you're going to put more pressure on yourself to get it right if it's a lot of money. And if it's an otherwise hard, like if someone's looking for an 8.6 and they got $40,000 for an 8.6 and they want to get a really good one. So now the pressure is up.
Yeah,
and
you
it's
need
very
to make the
difficult
right
to get
decision.
the very unique type of car that you're looking for.
Yeah.
The next one, can the car be restored if something goes wrong?
Honda City.
I wasn't going to say it, but yes.
Yeah, everyone knew.
Or a Honda Life. Like a Honda City has kind of mid-demand, low supply, and so prices are on the increase for that one. But a Honda Life from the 1967, low demand, low supply. But you buy that car, you are getting not a single part from that car because you can't get them anymore.
Yep.
This is the type of car that was popular when it was new, and then it fell down the price, and it never went back up. And so there's like 12 of them left.
In running condition.
I picked that one particularly because I have a soft spot for the Honda Life. I think they're one of the most beautiful cars ever. And one of the... So, a little bit of a tangent.
Okay.
But honesty in a car is highly valued when you structure my desirability for a car. A car that's not... this is why I don't like a lot of new cars, is because they always try to be something that they're not. I'm very much looking at the new Land Cruiser FJ. The new one that you guys don't know about yet.
Yeah.
Because it's not honest to itself.
Yeah.
And the Honda Life is perfect. There is nothing in that car that is dishonest.
This is cheap. You get places. That's it.
And
that's why I like the Slate.
It looks adorable. It's got the headlights with the markers on top like eyebrows. Yeah. For people who don't know, go look it up. It's an awesome car. And the last one is, do you get a single shot at buying this car? So the importance of getting it right when you got a single shot at it. Like this now gets your nerves up and you only get one shot. So this actually makes it easier to buy. Counterintuitive, right? But one shot means, well, you're no longer caring about conditions so much because you want the car and you only get one shot. Sure, it's got rust holes in it, but rust holes can be repaired.
But your mind goes, if I don't get this, I don't get this at all.
Yeah, so it's easy. It's an easy decision for you to make. Oh, well, here's my chance. I'll take it.
Yeah. The worst thing you could probably do is buy a car and then check the same car at auction again. I mean, the worst thing for your wallet. If you want to buy a car again from us, that's good too. But
what do you mean? Like you buy a car and then
I bought the Altezza.
Yeah.
I still had the notifications for the emails on the new tool on after I got the Altezza, so I got to see what came up afterward.
You know what? That actually is pretty interesting. Maybe we can work into the new tool because we're building it, right? Where after you buy a car, it asks you, do you want to keep following this car?
Our recommendation is you don't.
Yeah. Do you feel like you regretted it?
No, not at all.
But you still saw other cars come
I still
through.
saw other cars. I'm like, oh, I wanted the facelift. I didn't get the facelift. But no, I'm happy.
Okay, so we're done the 5 points, and let's just remember what they are. So is it easy to determine the price? Is it easy to be certain of the condition? Is it easy to understand the risks of this car and what you're getting into?
Yeah.
Is it easy to know how many chances that you get for it? And is it easy to... I guess you can't word it that way, but the importance of getting it right, does that make your decision to buy easier or harder? Okay, special notes and rules of thumb that are going to help you make it easier. Number 1, pay attention to the supply and demand. In case you did not take Economics 101, as the supply goes up, the price goes down. That's a very simple way of putting it, but in general, it will save you a lot of heartache if you understand that.
One note that just pops into my brain in regards to the importance of getting it right and this point. When people search the auction tool and they don't have a deposit with us, and then one car where you have one chance comes up, it's mostly like a day before. And then you're going to start to go, oh, damn, I need to get the deposit in to be able to bid on this. And that's where panic sets in. And
then the brain falls out the head when you're... That's the thing, right? As soon as you start panicking, your rational decision-making goes out the window.
So my case that I want to make here is there is no... You can send a deposit to us and it's refundable, right? So the risk of a deposit sitting with us and you're never going to see it again. This is us saying this as the company. But
yeah, so what you're saying is, like, even if you're just on the fence and you don't know if you're going to buy, sending the deposit saves you from not having the time to send one in if a car comes up quickly that you want to bid on.
If you're looking for one car that is not coming up often, then...
I think it's true. I also want to add in that the understanding the process and the risks can take more than the few hours it takes to decide if you want to bid on a car. So I would much rather you set up an account, send the deposit in, and finish all of your talks about what are you getting in for before you make that decision.
Yeah.
It's a double whammy of goodness.
Yeah.
And it helps us out too, because if you send in a deposit to us, you're much more likely to buy a car. That's a good thing. This is a positive point.
For both parties.
Next point, know what you are getting yourself into. Absolutely a strong rule of thumb. And unfortunately, the people who don't know a lot tend to overestimate the amount that they know, and therefore are susceptible to this in particular. The more you know about modified cars, the more you know about a specific model, the more you know about importing, the more experience you have importing. All of these are positives.
The more you watch the show, the more you watch our YouTube comments.
Not bad, Max.
Yeah.
I like it.
The more you, And it's never been easier to know about cars with YouTube too.
And AI. You can learn about the Toyota, Honda. Okay, a little bit of a bone to pick. AI is a powerful tool when it comes to learning about cars. You have to be careful about what you're learning from it, though.
AI is a powerful tool if you don't know anything about the topic. For one, it gives you some information. For others, it deceives you with wrong information.
So you just go over the information with a filter in your brain going, this may be incorrect.
Yeah.
But for certain things like statistics for cars, they get those right from the manufacturers, and it's rarely wrong if it's a newer car. This is a skill that you have to acquire, and we don't get a choice. AI is the new reality for us.
I tend to disagree. We get a choice in not using it.
For now.
Or like... Data centers look really good with grenades inside of them.
Oh, Max, do not go there. This is
so
outside of a purview of our show. Next rule of thumb, this is exactly where you were going. Don't rush in to a purchase unless you have to. Unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And you can ask us how often certain cars come to auction if you're not sure yourself. Or you can check the past sales history. That's one of the greatest tools for this. Seeing,
that's a really good tool.
how many of these have sold in the last month? 450. Perfect. Easy to understand prices, easy to say no to one if it comes up. Next rule of thumb here, this one here I think is a cheat code. Be open to a wide array of different types of cars. This is how you get those limited edition cars that you want to get. So instead of looking for the limited edition N1 version of the Nissan Lucino, which boy oh boy I want to have,
Ooh, specific.
be open to so many different cars within that same limited category, or just browse the auctions all of the time, and then when something comes up, then jump on it. If you're looking for one specific car, if you're looking for one specific car and that car is hard to buy, you're making it more difficult for yourself. If you're looking for one specific car and it's easy to buy, no problem.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
The next one, bid strong when you need to and know when that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I fail at this one because I tend to just get grumpy when I don't win a car, so I'll bid strong on anything.
Or Mike, who has set himself, let's say, a budget of 500,000 yen, bids up to 700,000 yen.
So
I
pick
like
your
that
bid
about
price. Be realistic about the bid price. Don't try to lowball, and then pay the amount that you need to. Next one, don't seek out a deal.
Oh, I know what you were gonna say after that, but if you buy a car from auction, don't seek out a deal.
It makes it sound like most people who are looking to buy cars from auction, which is the dealer process of buying a car, are looking for a deal. So it sounds counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But
However,
no, you do it.
auctions in Japan are already a deal.
Yes, all these cars are the prices that the dealerships pay before they touch them up and then sell them on to retail. And in some cases, don't even touch them up.
Yeah.
These cars are pre-cleaning, pre-beautifying, and therefore they are cheaper. There wouldn't be a used car market if these weren't already a deal. And I feel like this is forgotten by a lot of people. They're like, oh, I need to get the cheapest car in the pool of cheap cars. And there you're setting yourself up for the bottom 30% being those hyper-competitive ones that are not going to be a good deal.
Gregor said, always bid a non-flat number. Would you sign that?
So I guess what he's saying is if you want to bid 700, then bid 710, because
Some people might
most
fall
people bid round numbers, and you're likelier to win if it's just above a round number. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think
believe
that's what he's going to say.
looking-
The more people do that, though, the less.
So then you need
effective
to
it
do the
is.
720, and then the next person the 730. I feel like this is general advice, but the chances of it saving you are pretty low. But it doesn't hurt to try it.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
I think it's fine. When I bid on cars, I guess I usually do this, but I just don't have a tendency to bid a round number on the cars that I buy. I don't know. Also, the last ones that I bought, I was like, that's the car I'm buying, and then that's the car I'm buying. And the one before that, I overbid on.
Hound Dog said that he lost a bid on a round number and then won a car on a guy who had bid a round number. So, just one thing.
It is
one example.
true. I think the average bidder is bidding round numbers. If you go through our bid list, it would probably be a lot of round numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
420, 69. You can't bid 69 yen, unfortunately.
No, but if you add a few zeros, you could.
Yeah.
That would be an expensive car, $400,000. Okay, the next rule of thumb is all done. That's all that we have for rules of thumb for you. So if you do have some rules of thumb in the chat, I liked hearing what you had to say on what things that you've been considering makes it easier for you to buy cars.
Yeah. I think now it's kind of like a little interactive session between you guys and us. For one, we're going to show some cars and you can say if it's easy or not. For two, you can ask us maybe about cars, what we think if they're easy or not.
Right. The next section will go through some examples of cars and we'll tell you if it's easy or difficult. We're actually going to do the process of searching and explain as we go why we think it would be difficult while we're searching.
Yeah, so I'm going to be typing furiously.
I'll read the chat.
The type and the furious. The first car we have on the list, Derek.
Yeah? Oh, you want to go into it now?
Yeah, go into it and then we just look at the chat while we do it. And
Okay, so we're starting off with the cars that were in the thumbnail, and we picked 3 cars in the thumbnail to represent the easy, medium, and the difficulty of buying all the cars. And so now we'll explain why we picked those ones as the first of the 3 of a longer list. So the first one is the LS600H. The LS600H is what the Celsior became, or the LS Lexus LS. It's the final version of it before they sadly canceled it, which I only found out a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense because people aren't buying these types of cars, but it really saddens me that a pillar in the automotive
Industry
ethos
going
is just
away.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of sad. And then they moved the ES up. The ES has always been the punching bag of the automotive community. Any of the Lexuses that are actually a Toyota that they bring into Lexus instead of the other way around are the ones that people don't like. And now the only Lexuses that are cars that you can buy are the 2 lowest models, and one of them was the punching bag.
Was it?
So I
think-
guess this is the one that you buy if you previously wanted an LS600, but it is smaller and theoretically less luxurious.
This car on the inside has physical buttons hidden behind the leather, and when you turn the car on, they appear and
Oh.
glow. And they also
It sounds like a good way to wear out your leather.
if you press on them, there's also tactile. Like you really press it; it's not touch.
Oh, right, the leather bumps in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
But then when those when the car is off, every time you get into the car, you're going to see like a row of little fingerprints for where you press
Probably,
those
yeah.
buttons.
We need to see how that holds up into the future.
It's not going to hold up well, and they do that on purpose.
'Kay.
Sorry, that's being cynical, and I should take that back, but that's how it works.
You want to search for Lexus LS4 600?
Yeah.
H.
So here we are in the auction tool, auction.pacificcoastjdm.com. And because it is Wednesday, the auction tool runs slower because everyone's piling in their requests for tomorrow, the busiest day at auction.
And we're also streaming at the same time.
So this might be a little bit more difficult than we thought.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have had these prepared. So we can talk about this to begin with. The Lexus. So we get a double whammy here of great value. I think this is a fantastic car, and more people should consider it. The Lexus 600H is the hybrid version, which Lexus's thing is the hybrids are the top trim ones that are faster than any of the other models. And so here you get the V8, the 5-liter V8 plus the hybrid. And you get a decent amount of power. I don't remember how much, but I believe it's around 450 or 460 horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
And I have driven it, and it is one of the only hybrids that I like driving. It is so nice. It just feels completely effortless. Very quiet, very luxurious, and probably what a lot of people consider the Century to be like, but better to drive than the Century.
We can't show.
Because of USS?
Yeah, I just searched with USS. And I need to change that because we can't show the images of USS.
If they're
You-
the
you
small
keep-
ones like that, you might be able to get away with it, but I wouldn't want to risk it.
No.
But now USS can pause that video right there and go, ha! These guys are cheating.
No, we're not.
We'll bow very deeply to them.
You keep talking while I'll do this off camera, so we don't lose. Why can't you show, Derek?
The USS?
Yeah.
Just it's USS's policy to not allow the public display of their auction cars because they're a private institution and because they want to make money from their ninja system where you can pay a monthly fee to get those pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like I said, business is cutthroat. And the most successful businesses, sometimes, you can click here for all. And then just deselect the USS ones. There should be USS Tokyo, just one on this day, and then a few on that day.
Yup.
Yeah.
There.
And then search.
Hmm?
All the USSs are lined up together.
Okay. There we go. We're back.
Okay, so the LS600H is commonly, it was a very expensive car when it was new. It was commonly bought by people who kept the maintenance well, usually kind of the older folk that are Japan classic. The people who grew up during the bubble era and they knew that they had to spend the proper amount on their maintenance of the car or else, and they just did what they were told. This is not an anthropology class.
The LS600H sits above the Crown, in my mind.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's the most expensive. I think it's maybe more expensive than the Century, but a different market. Century's to be driven around in, whereas this one was for you to drive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you could be driven around in it as well. And then because it was owned by older people, they tended to have, like anyone who had the money to buy one of these, they typically were also the type of person who had the money to maintain one. And so they were well maintained. And then because it's a hybrid, this scares people because they have heard stories about the hybrid systems in cars being unreliable once they become old enough. And in my experience. That doesn't seem to be the case with most Toyota vehicles. I have been very happy with the performance, and so have our customers of Priuses and other Toyota hybrids that are 15 plus years old. And so in this respect, I feel like conditions are all very close to one another. Prices are easy to determine because there are enough of them that you can browse through. They are a very unrisky car, and this altogether makes them a very easy car to buy and very lack of problems with the car. And so you almost can't go wrong with them. Just pick one that's in the condition and the price range that you want and go ahead and buy it.
Be aware of seat stains on the auction sheet in regards to what Dr. Pasta said in the chat.
Dr. Pasta, old people can't hold their bladder. They pee on the seats. I feel like the stigma around diapers for old people is lower in Japan, so I feel like more people would wear their diapers. They are more concerned about how they fit in socially here in Japan than in some other countries, and as such, they would be mortified if they peed their pants in public.
Yeah. How about we show the car?
So off the rails.
Yeah. How about we show the car first, and then we let the chat decide if they think it's easy, hard, or medium.
Well, we already know the first three. The next one is an RX-7.
Yep, you all know this one. And there was one comment, why the hate on the FD?
There is no hate on the FD. It's one of my... FD is absolutely my top 10 favorite cars.
I would love to own an FD.
The only reason it's not higher is because the interior is junky. And that's and they're hard to get in and out of. At my age, that starts to become an issue. Otherwise, I think they're one of the most beautiful, best performing cars, and I don't mind the lack of reliability and complexity because I'm a different kind of buyer than... if I were buying one, I would spend a lot of money on one and I would maintain it really well. And the reason why this car hasn't ended up in my driveway is because cars like the NSX exist. And if you're going to be having an expensive sports car, the NSX is just more appealing to me.
I'm just trying to do it. It's a camper.
The RX-7s are hard to find because, you're looking for Audis?
No, I was not looking for anything here.
Oh.
I just searched for FD.
Yeah, they can be a little bit tricky because they get miscategorized sometimes. So there's like the Savannah RX-7, the Affinity RX-7, and then just the RX-7 listing. And then sometimes people will put them in the wrong category.
Yeah, okay, there we have 3 that are not at USS.
Most of these will be at USS because they're that kind of car.
Yeah.
But the RX-7 here in Japan might surprise you. They sold a ton of them. Maybe some of that has to do with the smaller engine fitting into the lower tax category. Because although it's a 1.3, registered as a 1.3 here, it's more like a 2.6 because it the way that it combusts.
Doritos. This one looks...
So the reason why this is mid is because some things it's really bad at. Like you buy one, you really don't know how the condition is going to be. It can be a very clean looking car that requires an engine rebuild at 50,000 kilometers. That's life of an RX-7 unless you know the previous owner and you trust that they maintained it properly. They aren't particularly as unreliable in terms of the engine as people say. They are, but it depends on how they're maintained. So you'll hear a lot of people go, oh, they have a bad reputation for nothing. I feel like the ones that we've had that broke the most weren't really the engine losing compression like most people think. It's the complexity of everything. The twin turbo setup and everything that they need in order to get that working means that there are many failure points. And because heat is a real big problem with these, the heat in the engine room can just heat is one of the biggest things that causes cars to malfunction. And it's just, you can't idle this car sometimes because it'll just overheat.
Yeah, people say the RX-7 feels cheap on the inside.
Yeah,
but the
bummer.
The seating position is so good.
I feel like it's it is good, but I don't care for the stock seats because they're not that supportive. And I'm not a huge fan of aftermarket seats unless they get them right. Like some of my favorite seats are original seats. The NSX seats are really good. The WRX seats are really good.
New 86 seats.
Skyline seats are really good. And of course for my body shape. This will be different for everybody.
So no hate. It's just
I actually quite like those wheels. They look very much like the wheels you would have gotten in 1996.
the red 2 on an FD. I think it's maybe one of the most beautiful cars ever out of Japan.
Yeah, they are fantastic, aren't they?
Okay, should we just sit here for 10 minutes and look at it? So this is a hard, medium to hard purchase?
A point why I think this one is medium is if you consider the FD to be the same level as the Supra and the Skyline, then you're getting the car for a decent discount because of the lack of reliability. And if you buy one of these cars for, say, $25,000 landed, and something does go wrong, spend 10 grand on an engine's rebuild or fixing whatever you need, and you're at 35,000, which is still below those other cars.
Yeah. And you get, insane.
And of those 3 cars, this is the best one for someone who cares about how the car feels while you're driving it.
Yeah.
Except for if you care about straight line speed, it's not going to win any drag races. I mean, it could, but only a few.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next car, the difficult version.
Yes, that is, and it's a BJ40.
I like how they
There you go.
you put in Kuru and they thought they were putting in Kuruma and they highlighted that. So it would have been Lando Kuruma.
As someone who doesn't know much about these derricks, why did we put this for impossible on the thumbnail?
Yeah, we pretty much don't sell these cars to people because of the vast warnings that people get for these. The Land Cruiser 40 series is a very highly sought after vehicle and has been for a very long time. These are the classic hard as nails Toyota truck. They are the best one. Like, they aren't the most comfortable one to drive, but they are the most iconic one. But we are a very long time from the time that these were easy to be bought. That is a perfect example.
I just thought I'd Google it so you guys can actually see why.
Remember when I said that some of them are going to go to dealers and they're going to be too expensive. These are over $100,000 now at a dealer.
Oh God!
You can buy them at auction for 3 million yen. So there is a huge difference. But the auctions can't figure out which ones are Bondo City, and they have not only been repaired for corrosion once. At this time, they have been repaired for corrosion more than once, most likely 2 to 3 times. Repairs for, especially about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, they were at the point where there were still some clean ones, but they were starting to get quite rusty. It was a problem, and they weren't valuable enough at that point to properly repair them. But they were valuable enough for them to get a cheap repair and then sent to auction. So a lot of them got a ton of Bondo put on, back to auction. Somebody bought them for too much, probably from Flex Auto.
Name dropping.
Throwing shade. And then, after 5 years, they start to show that rust again. And for anyone who has done any body work, you probably know how this works. It is much easier to repair a car that never had any Bondo on it than to have one that has been previously repaired. This goes for welding as well, but body work with Bondo is probably worse. You have to grind everything away and then more because it has since rusted again. And then you have to weld some metal in there because the difference in the first restoration to the second restoration is too big to redo it Bondo style. So it has to be properly done at that point. And it's oftentimes still not. We have seen ones with more than 2 centimeter thick Bondo just to replace, like chicken wire, Bondo. And you simply don't know what you're going to get. And for the most part, nobody wants one that is like that.
And remember, this is Japanese internet that I'm showing you now. And rust repair in Japan maybe not done so often as maybe in the USA. So if I would not be searching for that in Japanese, then maybe you get even more sadder pictures.
If you must buy one of these cars, I highly recommend you do it at a dealer and then pay the Cry One's price.
Just so you know.
And buy it from a dealer that specializes in these, and hopefully, like, if you're spending this much money on a car, come to Japan. Either be a specialist yourself, bring a specialist, or learn how to figure out how a car has been repaired. Get like a paint depth gauge, a magnet, go around the car, find out what the weak points are, and check on those. But yeah, this is very close to the hardest car you can buy from Japan, and it's one that we still get pretty constant inquiries about because people just love these so much. The funny thing about this is that they are extremely reliable too. It's just that the bodies rust a lot.
Okay, now we have other cars on the list, and we want you to tell us if you think it's easy or hard to buy.
And why?
And why.
Were you listening? This will be on the quiz. The first one is the XW30 series Prius. This is the third generation Toyota Prius.
Is that easy or hard to buy?
I know the answer.
Impossible. I do know the answer. Do you know the answer? That is the question. Keep it coming.
I would like people to give a rating of 1 to 10 for how hard they think it is, and 10 being the hardest and 1 being the easiest. And then I'll release my number.
Waiting. We got 43 viewers at the moment. I know you're there.
It's really easy to put a number onto a screen and press enter.
Wait, 2? 1? That's really hard to buy then.
No, that's the opposite. 10 is the hard to buy. 1 is the easy to buy.
3 because they all go to Mongolia.
Somebody was watching last week's show.
I reckon there's a lot of demand from the local market.
There is not a lot of demand from the local market. There is much more demand for the 5-year and newer Priuses, not for the ones like the 30 series. 30 series was the what years were those? 2007 to 2013 or something like that?
Yeah, the ones that we sell at the moment.
So they're at the age where they are still plentiful in Japan because they sold hundreds of thousands of them.
Yep.
And they're still at the age where you can find them in good condition with the low mileage. So if you're targeting those ones, they're still pretty easy. And the price is really low and doesn't fluctuate a lot, making them easy for people to afford.
So what's your number?
This is about as easy as they get, and so I would give them a 2. The only reason I wouldn't give them lower than that is because like there is, after 15 years, a broad range of different conditions. So you still have to understand what causes the conditions to be certain prices. And so that's a fairly easy thing. It's mostly mileage.
Any special editions of that Prius generation? The Tommy Kaira Prius RR that we had on the channel.
Are people trying to shout out their PCA deep knowledge?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Just one thing, Rekthor9090 said, I've had a deposit with you guys since 2018 and I'm finally ready to make a purchase. I'm really looking forward to
That's pretty severe. Sometimes I look over the deposit list and I look at those real old ones. Like that's an 8-year-old deposit with us. And I wonder if those people still even remember that they have a deposit with us.
You mentioned the other day that sometimes you think, what if we have a deposit from someone who passed?
Right. Our oldest deposit is 2014. So that's a 12-year-old deposit.
The trust. Hopefully.
I think it's forgotten.
Yep.
Or maybe it's just in the list by accident. I won't write that off as a possibility. I think we keep pretty clean deposit lists, but if it is an older one, and somebody emailed us and said, "Hey, can I have my deposit back?" We would absolutely go and check if it was like that old and go, "Okay, let's have proof that this was actually refunded or not refunded."
Yeah, no compound interest. We're not a bank.
Okay, the next one, a 25-year-old K truck.
Oh.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is it? And you can drop in reasons why you think that's the case if you want.
So there's no distinguishing between Acti, Subarus.
They're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
There are differences in them if you want to get into the minutia, but for the most part, they're 90% the same truck from one to the next.
Yeah. Is that the police outside?
Do you have an idea of how difficult you think it is? Because you don't do any sales, but you overhear a lot of what we talk about in the office.
That and I see the report pictures.
How difficult is a K truck to buy?
4, hard to find ones that aren't rusty. 8, because everyone wants one, and Bondo over rust or spray painted black underneath.
Nobody is bondoing these. The value is so low that corrosion repairs are very rare.
Maybe people in other countries do it.
Yeah.
To repair.
Yeah.
6, it'll be hard to find something in good running condition. 3, 7, rusted to hell, more difficult to find parts.
So this is
3.
the Prius was an easy one, but you can see there's a diversity in answers for this.
So it's a hard,
We happen to
medium?
sell a lot of K-trucks too, so we're well positioned to explain this. And also, so let me, I'm just going to start by saying that this is a different answer if you are a dealer importing K-trucks than if you are someone importing one.
Mm-hmm.
Because the K-trucks, they are harder to understand the condition. This was one of our points.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there are still a lot of them available and in many different types of condition. Because there are so many available, you can absolutely get ones that are very clean fairly easily if you pay enough for them.
It also depends on what you want from the K-truck. If you want to use it as a work
I got to say this
vehicle.
because it was part of what I was going to say.
Oh,
I'm
then
sorry.
keep going.
I made it sound like I had...
Yeah, you had a long
route.
pause, so I was like, okay, I'm going to jump in now.
Yeah, my brain was ticking on how to say this properly.
Okay,
But
please.
if you are somebody that's bringing them in as a dealership, now your care for the condition goes way down, because when you bring them in as dealer, then you always need to have parts for them. If you get one that's bad, then that becomes your parts truck. And so now your care for the condition of any individual truck is not very good. And if you're buying so many, then your averages are still going to be good, saleable trucks. And so this makes it insanely easy to buy the car. But if you're buying for yourself, now you have to care about some of the risks of the K-trucks. In particular, how hard was it worked? Because these are work trucks. And if you have an insight for this or an eye for it, you can take a look at the listings and kind of tell if this one has been run hard. K-trucks are cheap. You get them for $800 to $1,200 for the most part, US dollars.
Yeah.
And at that price, there's a low risk of getting things wrong. It's not that bad if they're in rough condition, and many people who buy them from you are going to be using them roughly as well. They kind of want to pay a low price for one that's already a little bit damaged, so
You don't need to care about damaging it more.
a little bit easier to sell a rough K-truck than it is to sell a rough Prius.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I would give a K-truck a 4 out of 10 for difficulty in buying, which is lower than I think most people think.
I would have been at a 5.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Okay.
The next vehicle.
Thank you for the comments, though. Next vehicle is a...
The next one is a P25 or P35 Mitsubishi Delica camper.
Ooh.
Get that on the screen so that we can see what it looks like. Actually, we should for all of these.
So what? P25?
Yeah.
W, right?
Everyone, get your ones and zeros ready for this one.
I think like this.
So anything... I think you need to put Kempa instead of Kempu.
I thought it was Campu.
No, it's always Kempa.
Camping car, Max. Camping
Oh, thank you, Grant. Okay, so a lot of them missed the P25 and just put newer Delicas, but this generation of the Delica, but the camping version of it, just put in P25 and then camping car and see what it comes up with. These ones. These little mofos are the ones that cause us the most trouble. I'm giving away the answer. This is a 10 out of 10. You all know that it was coming. But this is a 10 out of 10 in difficulty. We already talked about why campers are difficult, but this one in particular seems to be attractive to people that want, like, I think it's a gene that people have. I call it the whistling diesel gene. It's the one that you want to see the world burn, and they just treat their campers like they are below anything else in the world. Like, if there's any camper that has, like, a dead fish left in it when they sell the camper, it's going to be one of these ones. They often smell extremely badly. They are full of DIY hacks to make their camper better because those people don't want to actually pay to get anything made or fixed on their car. They're in a poor state of repair. They're often extremely soiled, and the bodies on them tend to rust and fade paint very badly. It's a mixed bag of everything that you don't want in a camper, and it is sad that it is such a unique and cool type of vehicle. A 4x4 camper with the lifted suspension like these is incredibly cool.
This is how they live most of their life.
And it's a decent real four-wheel drive system, not a pretend four-wheel drive system, and so it is capable, and it has pretty decent overhangs front and rear and a very short wheelbase. So your off-road ability in this is very high compared to most of the four-wheel drive campers here in Japan.
If Breaking Bad would have been set in Japan, this would be the camper that they would do the drugs in.
No comment. So who guessed 10?
You were too fast. We got a
No,
6.
I gave away the answer at the
Yeah.
beginning, and then nobody wanted to get points. I bet you would get more comments if we tracked points for this.
And gave away stickers in the end.
Yeah, and you get a sticker.
Hmm.
We gave away badges that they can use in future chat.
That would be cool, but that's only for if you get membership.
And membership you have to pay monthly for, right?
Yeah.
And we don't do that.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone would.
I feel like some people would. On to the next one is
Oh.
the ZN6 version of the Toyota 86.
You guys know this.
As Max's car. Everyone knows that because Max mentions it every time. This is your German car.
Yeah, it's still in Germany in
So
a
it's
garage.
weird that you have a car in a country you don't live in.
Right? But I don't want to
But
sell
I did
it.
the same thing.
This
Probably
is
going to be worth more if you keep it too.
that's at the moment the price doesn't go down,
And
so
your mileage isn't going up
yeah, so I'm not gonna sell it.
until someone offers you a deal you can't refuse.
I don't know. This is the Sylvia of our generation. This is gonna be the Sylvia of our generation.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
So how easy is it to buy? Now,
So
you've probably spent more time thinking about this than I have.
Yep.
We're still getting some people. I see a 2, I see a 1, a 2, a 3. Not all of them are destroyed yet, is a little bit of a hint from Grego.
1.375.
We don't do points. Hound Dog are going to have to re-comment that and increase our engagement.
Yep. Do you want me to say it first, what I think?
Yeah, I want you to say what you think, because I'm not sure if I've decided until you've told me yours.
I think I would be at a 3. There are many in Japan, many unmodified ones.
Still.
That you can choose from that are fairly well kept, and you see them on the street very often, actually. Maybe one of the most alive cars on the streets of Japan at the moment, like sports cars that you see around.
Yeah, you see these like 20 times more than you see the new Z.
Yeah. First year was 2013, I think 2012, end of 2012 they started to get out, and then 2013.
Just about Canada legal, eh?
Yeah, it's going to start soon with these. The reason why it's not a 1, it's still a sports car. People are going to drive it hard, so there is
And
modify. So there is some risk if you get one with body kit, for
How
example.
about price difference between one that's been modified or hard driven compared to one that's a clean low mileage one?
I don't look at the prices for these too much though. I spend my time editing. I thought it was funny. I don't know
so
how
I'll agree with your 3. So
Yeah.
anyone who picked 3, you're right. If you pick 2 or 4, you're mostly right too. It's somewhere around there. On to the next one I've got here is a classic Mini. So this is the 1959 until year 2000, made for 40 years. Classic original Mini.
can't type today.
Oh, look at that. There's a PCA picture.
Oh, there you go.
So we've sold 2 of those in that orange
It's
color.
a conversion. It's not an original.
And this is a Mark 1 conversion.
Oh, okay.
It's got the Mark 1 grill lights and tail lights,
So we got 9, 7,
but not the fender flares.
8 or 9, 8. 8. Lots of inventory, but harder to find good condition.
That's true, but that's not the whole story.
What is the whole story, Derek? We got a lot of other things for the rest of the show, and we are half an hour away from the end of the show, so we gotta.
Right, we
Hurry up.
definitely do. Okay, so the Minis, is exactly right. It's hard to tell the condition. They're old, they rust. What's specifically difficult about the Minis is because they were sold for so long and multiple different variations, and they're a highly demanded classic car. There's already a set price for different versions of it, and you kind of have to be a master at Minis to understand why certain versions are worth more than other ones. Like a good example of this is that about 15 years ago, you could import these to New Zealand, but only the ones that had airbags. So if it was one of the final 3 years or 4 years or whatever that had the airbags, then the price skyrockets because New Zealand was happily buying as many as they could. And like that's one point. There are about 30 points you have to know about these in order to understand why the price is a certain amount. So we get people bidding on cars, and I'll bid 600,000 on this, and then it's like it sells for 1.2 million, and they're like, why? That one looked exactly the same as that other one that sold for 5.5.
But no, it's that specific month where they only produced this version.
They went from
that
carburetor to fuel injection. They had the no power brakes and the power brakes, and they have the
And this specific
the
one
Coopers
has
and
the
the
option where
non-Coopers.
the badge is slightly thicker than the other one.
The 10-inch wheels, the non-10-inch wheels, the ones that have been modified in a certain way, the ones that not. Yeah, it's rough. This is absolutely a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Even though Japan has tons of them, and it is the market you want to buy.
And
from.
every time we post a Mini on the channel, you know a lot about Minis. And there still is someone who knows more about Minis.
Every time I post a Mini, there's somebody going, "This guy's an idiot," because as soon as you say something that you thought was right, but somebody else is questioning, even when they're not right, some of the time they're like, "This guy's an idiot. It's time for him to chop his dick off, turn in his man card. You can't talk about Minis. I know everything about." Some cars are like that. They collect a fan base of people who very much want to know things and tell the world.
Is this the same idea as an OG VW Beetle?
Oh, no. No. OG VW Beetles are in a different basket. Some crossover because they have different models, but they are very rarely modified to the same extent as the Minis are.
Mm-hmm.
And the Beetles, I feel like, are like the first few years, like the 39 or whenever they started, 38, until like the 60s. Those ones are the classic ones. Anything after that really isn't worth an awful lot in comparison.
It's like
and they don't change as often, so
Yeah.
it's like less little points of knowledge that you need to know.
It's like we're gonna put this car into the emerging markets to still make money off of a decade-old design.
Until 2003, they sold the original Beetle. Crazy.
Or the Mark II Golf that was sold in
Mark 1 in South Africa, called the
So
City Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That used the
it
Mark
was-
1 chassis with a bunch of Mark II parts.
It was the Mark 1
Yeah.
chassis with some parts that looked updated to make it look more like the Mark 2. R34 Skyline GTR.
Oh.
So some of these that we've said so far have been polarizing. The Prius is easy to understand. The Delica is easy to understand. This one might be a little bit more difficult. And it's certainly a car that everybody wants to know how easy it is to buy. They want to get their mitts on one of these. I'm interested for the day that people stop, like all the people who watch Fast and the Furious are dead. I want to know what the price value or the value of these will be.
Look at the muscle cars now.
And it's funny because muscle cars were old enough that you can keep them alive for longer with like sticks and glue. But the Skyline you can't as much. But it still is more able to do that than modern cars are.
But then if you have a Skyline GTR with the little center screen still working in a good condition in, let's say, 40 years.
I wonder if someone's going to remanufacture those screens.
Totally. Maybe at some point we see the shutdown of cars being allowed on the road that are not electric. If that happens, what happens to car prices in general?
They'll do that.
Yeah.
Then
So-
trailer it to the car shows.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, different topic.
7. The ones I've seen stateside are mixed bags. Some are nice and some are nasty. Horrific frame rod that people still paid over $90,000 for.
Steam value power. Steam powered car value is going up.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, Derek.
Yeah. Well, we don't have much time. We only got one person to answer this, but I absolutely think that this one is a very, very mixed bag. But I think it's easier to buy than people think. I will give this one a 5.
5.
Yes.
Ooh.
I think it highly, highly depends on how much money you have. The more money you have, the easier it is to buy one of these.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And most, like, the cheapest ones are expensive enough that they're in the category for the rich buyers only. And as such, there is very much incentive to restore them. And once they get to that level, the condition difference fades away. Where most of them, we see this with the Hakosuka, almost all of them are above a certain bar of condition, or they've become a parts car and they've been scavenged for parts for the other ones.
Yeah. I think the time of people targeting the bottom of the barrel R34 GTR is kind of...
It's on its way out.
Yeah.
You can still kind of do it, but I don't know. It wouldn't be a car that I would go in for less than an expected landed price of $120,000 US. Below that, it gets risky, and then that's a lot of money. So we don't sell a lot of them in our company history. Only 5 have been sold.
Okay, next one.
Let's skip the next one because it's more of the same. How about the Nissan Silvia S15?
What do you guys think? Silvia S15, scale of 1 to 10, easy or hard?
Another
or
iconic car along with the R34, but absolutely a lower market because it is not Godzilla.
But it's Mona Lisa. 6 drift missile. Oh. At what time?
1.
Okay,
safe.
that's doable.
I'm curious to know what people think about this one.
6 unmodified. 9. Hard to find without hacked up quarter
You can
planets.
still find them unmodified. They are slim pickings, but much easier to find than the 14 or the 13. Because it's the last model, I feel like it got a little bit more prominence early on in its life. Like as soon as we realized that there's no S16, people always want the best version of the S chassis, so they'd go for the 15 and therefore not terrorize it like they did the 13 and 14.
You can get the value package.
It looks like this is a topic people like. We got good viewership this time.
Yeah, thank you for
47
watching.
is not bad.
Okay,
so the
7.
S15, this one is actually difficult for me to price. If I see an actual one at auction, then I can very easily tell how easy or hard that particular one is. But it's right at the point where we've got a whole bunch of different categories of S15s. We've got the race ones, then we've got the good condition survivors, then we've got the restored ones. But we don't have too many of those. Like there are a lot of different styles, so it's hard to say that the S15 is like buying them is this number. But if I had to give a number, then I would give this one either a 6 or a 7. What?
Nope, I won't do it.
What? I don't get it.
Okay, let's keep it that way.
All right. Okay, on to the next category. We have some car picks. Everyone seems to like this section where we show you cars that are at auction right now, ones that you can buy if you send us a deposit now and rush into a purchase, right?
Yeah, that's what you know.
Okay, so the first one, this is more of a gag than anything, but this is the Japanese taxi. It's called the Japan taxi.
Japan.
So JPN taxi is the name of the car.
It's like the step wagon, but it's...
Yeah, Stepwagon.
Stepwagon?
Isn't that weird? Two different brands did the same stupid thing.
Which year are these?
Oh, I don't know. 2017, I think is when they
so
started.
quite new.
But that's
Imagine
still
you
9
are in
years
the
old.
UK driving this around.
Yeah, because it's
Wouldn't that
styled
be
to
fun?
look like the cabs from the UK, right?
Right. If you're from the UK, this is probably awesome.
So I got a few
And
things
funny.
to talk about this. I think that they're fantastic cars. They're built off of the Toyota Sienta platform. I think that they look very unique if you don't use them for a taxi or if you're outside of Japan. If you use them here in Japan, people will give you the side eye. They have a sliding door in the back, very easy to get in and out of, lots of room, and extremely reliable. Look at the mileage in this one.
Whoa!
548,000 kilometers, and it's LPG, not gasoline or diesel. So fuel...
LPG only.
I believe it's LPG only. There
God damn.
might be gasoline hybrids, but I don't think I saw any. 1.5
No, they
liter
are.
engine. It's not going to be winning any races, but it will be reliable. As you can see, this one has high mileage. And almost all of them have between 200 and 500,000 kilometers by the time that they're this age. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Which is
A Japan taxi.
Surprise!
Oh, and fender mirrors. Did I mention the fender mirrors?
Oh,
on
yeah,
it?
mm.
I think this would look so dope with 19-inch wheels, like
Slammed.
deep dish slammed.
Oh yeah.
And
Also, the
and-
sliding door in the back is automatic. You can open it from the driver's side, and they have the blue light strips on there too sometimes to indicate, oh, there's a door open for the other car. It's really cool.
And so I picked this one specifically because of the mileage. This one has 121,000. Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's
Unknown mileage. Okay, I didn't notice that the first time I went through it. But if this one had 120,000 kilometers, then the price of it would be 800,000 yen.
I was
Which
going
for
to
a
ask you
car
how
that's
much.
going to last you to 500,000 kilometers and it's going to be cheap to fuel because it's natural gas, not a bad option, hey?
Yeah.
Before we sell one of these, we would want to check about decommissioning the gas tank because some countries are pretty picky about how that works. Like, yeah, gas tanks usually have to be registered in a certain way, not like a fuel tank because they are much more dangerous. So,
But it's a fun type of vehicle to think about.
yeah, and one that people aren't thinking about.
Yeah, that's
And
what
if
we
they
have.
came to Japan on vacation, you've seen these driving around.
Yeah.
And thought, wow, that's weird
Mm-hmm.
because it only exists here.
So you're saying I can rush a deposit and buy that now? Yeah.
I love it.
It's
Thank
legal
you.
for your country?
Okay, on to the next one. I think we only got one more.
Yep.
Okay, so this one here is a Toyota Kluger. Sounds German, doesn't it?
Krüger.
Which is the Highlander, first generation outside. And I only picked this one because it's a hybrid, and I didn't realize
Oh.
that they made a hybrid version of this.
This looks too old to be a hybrid, but yeah,
Right?
it's of
So
course the
there
Prius
used to
was
be
early.
the Prius, and that was it, right? And then there was a stage where we started to get some hybrids of other types of vehicles, and this would have been one of them. But this would have been a very fast hybrid when it came out because it has the 3.3 liter V6 engine plus the hybrid. Now, oddly, it only puts out the same power as the regular 3-liter version of the Kluger,
Mm-hmm.
210 horsepower.
So it's not like a add power hybrid. It's like a economy
It's
hybrid.
definitely the economy style, but still 210 horsepower is not bad, and then it gets 19 kilometers per liter.
For an SUV. From
Well, more like a crossover than an SUV. It's like a Forester size. They're actually smaller than you would think.
Interesting. I didn't know about this.
Kluger.
Yeah, looks cool.
And I bet it's going to be super. Well, this one's in poor condition, and you probably can't find too many of these because I think I read. So I read, and I don't know if it's correct, that 500 of them. Their target was 500 per year,
Mm-hmm.
and I suspect they only sold it for 2 or 3 years. That information comes from Wikipedia, by the way.
Not AI.
I didn't even know you can get a hybrid of this.
Yeah, me neither.
Kluger. Get in the Kluger.
Okay, this week at PCA.
We got a few things to talk about. Where
Yeah.
are we on the list? We've
Yeah.
done this one. We got this one. Okay, so first things first, we need to talk about the cicadas. Bring up a picture of one. Because we get comments every single year because we shoot our reports for the cars outside of a park. And here in Japan, we get the cicadas every year. You know, in the US, they only get them like every 7 years. It's like no cicadas, and then 1 year it's like, right? It's weird.
Yep. Imagine living in Germany where you don't get them at all.
In Canada, you don't
Yeah.
either.
So here's the pictures. Anyone who doesn't like insects can look away now.
I don't care for insects too much. Some of them I kind of stay away from, but the cicadas I'm completely okay to catch, and they're like that big.
Yep.
And
And they
there's-
fly at you because they don't have
Yeah,
eyes.
they can't see anything,
Yeah.
and so they just like fly wherever.
Yep.
Right into your face or something.
Yep.
Bonk, and then bonk.
My favorite types of videos that Grant shares with me and I share with Grant is someone having a frying pan, like jamming insects out of the... Yeah, it's fun.
And they make a very distinct sound.
Yeah,
And
if you watch
that's
anime,
why-
you probably know.
Me, 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 me. And in our reports, you're going to be hearing them. So just prepare yourself for that. For the next, I suppose, 3 months, you're going to be hearing those
Yeah.
cicadas, pardon me.
Or maybe also in the show because we keep the window open a little.
Yeah, you might hear some of it.
Yeah.
On to the next thing to talk about in this week at PCA is a Max topic. Why don't you bring this up? Because it's kind of your
My
whole
thing.
life.
We
The
published a
performance-
new video on Drives Japan, which is the city video. Now, how many of the 50 people currently watching have watched the video? Let us know. I will mute the video for showing it to you, but
So the city video is the first look at the Honda City that I bought.
Yep.
We have done sneak peeks of it, but this is your first time to see the car and understand, I guess, part of the condition of it. We didn't really go into details about the condition,
we're going to.
but you get to see the car from multiple different angles, and you get to see basically what I got. And this video was really cool because we went down to downtown Yokohama and got some shots of it while driving.
Yeah.
Which is
That
something
was
we don't
really
often
fun.
do.
Yeah.
And that's, I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. That was one of my 20 years in Japan, almost 20 years in Japan. That's one of my favorite days that I've had.
Yeah, I'm so happy to say that.
Driving one of my favorite cars in Japan, kind of feeling like I was back in the 80s again. Driving through like a part of the city that would have been brand spanking new in like 1990 when people would have been driving this car around.
Yeah. So there you go. I'm going to paste the link in the chat just for the sake of it.
Put one in the description too.
Yeah.
And like all of the videos on the Drives Japan channel, it got a decent amount of views considering the amount of subscribers that we have. But
We're waiting for that hit.
considering the amount of effort and polish that the video has, and how good the video is. Like this one, like the Motocompo video, we've got a lot of statistics that we can look at, and the statistics are all looking very positive. But for a channel that is still as small as that one, YouTube's not sure if they should share it to everyone. And every once in a while, we'll get a little bit of a bump while YouTube is like, do people like this?
Is this something we want to share? Yeah. It is, as you said in the video, the most comprehensive video on the city ever on the internet.
On certain portions of the city.
Yeah.
Because we decided to split this one up into two videos because it ended up being too long
Yeah.
and too much of a tone change.
There is going to be a driving video of it too, where you talk about how it's like to drive it. It's not the next one. The next
Should
one,
you meet your heroes?
Yeah. The next one is a Sylvia.
And that one's fantastic.
It's a double video. It's a report on the normal channel and a driving video on the Drives Japan channel.
And that one is a very special Sylvia because it's
Yeah.
got very low mileage and has never been modified in any way. And so it is like what it would be like to buy one of those cars brand new and try driving it, which is, for the Sylvia, is very different from your average Sylvia experience, isn't it?
Yep.
Look
Thank you
at
for
that
all
car.
the...
Wait, is it on the screen?
It's not on the screen.
Can you just put it on the screen a little bit more, just because I love the car?
There you go.
No, okay. Let's go on to our next topic.
Thank you for all the positive feedback. And I also just quickly wanted to shout out to Banpei Art,
Oh, right.
because he sent us some of the city booklets that all of the information in this video was based on.
We got a nice little comment from him. Where'd you get all of those cool flyers?
Yeah, no, that really saved us. You cannot find so much information on this car on the internet.
And it is the most information on the city on the internet.
Yeah, it is.
In some respects, yes.
Yeah. Next one.
The next one is a Grant special. So I'll tell the story, and if Grant actually has some time, he could jump in. But like we said, he
Nope.
is very busy.
It's good. I'm here. I got a sec.
Okay.
Tell the
so
story.
tell us what's going on. Tell us about the what happened the other night.
Yeah, so I got a call on Friday that my car was fixed from having the clutch replaced and everything. Went out to get it, picked it up with Eric, felt amazing, drove it back and parked near work.
Hold on.
Yo.
I want to hear how amazing that it was to drive and why in a little bit more detail before you tell the real story.
Yeah, so I had changed the clutch disc, the flywheel, the pressure plate, just the entire clutch system, and all of the release bearing, the release fork, the slave cylinder, like everything.
Some of them were upgraded parts, right?
All of them.
Like not the stock ones that are like plastic or brittle or flexible
Yeah.
into real manly versions of those parts.
So it felt really good. The clutch pedal was much firmer, much sharper. The engagement was much easier to feel out. It's just made me realize how spongy and vague the pedal had been before. Somehow it felt like the shifter, like it went into all the gears more cleanly. It felt really good. Left work, went to pick up my daughter from daycare, left daycare, made it about 3 blocks, was pulling away from a light, went to second, went for third, and suddenly all the gears were gone.
Dum, dum, da.
Yeah, and so...
So we got a message from Grant after he left work. I don't know how long after, but we were still in the office when this happened.
I have a soundboard. I don't know what this soundboard button does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. No, that was the wrong one.
So
I was hoping it was the wah, wah, wah.
I was lucky that it broke at the top of a hill. The clutch still worked fine, so I was able to put it in neutral and just like hold the clutch down and roll it down the hill off to a side street and park it up there. I could not physically move the shifter to the right or to the left, no matter how hard I tried to. It could either go forward to where third gear should be, but that had become neutral, or it could go down to where neutral should be, but that had become some high gear that would immediately stall the car if I let the clutch out.
So you were stranded.
Yeah,
and you
in the
had to
middle
go
of a
pick
typhoon.
up your daughter.
In the middle of
and in the middle of the typhoon that hit last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our lovely office manager was kind enough to call the shop that fixed it. He drove out in the rain to meet us and called a tow truck, had it trucked back to his shop, and has given me a Daihatsu Mira loaner for the interim.
He's so nice.
Yeah, he's a great guy, helping me out.
So what was the issue? Long story short.
Yeah, so I just got a call today that the car's fixed, hopefully for the last time now. It was the plastic clips and connectors that hook the shift cables onto the shifter at one end and then onto the pivots on the transmission end had both broken, and so only one of the shift cables was still moving anything, and it was not possible to select gears anymore.
It's crazy that like the entire system breaks when a little plastic clip breaks.
Yeah.
But it also shows you upgrade stuff. And then the weakest link goes...
Nah, I don't think it was connected to that. This is
Can you
just...
get a upgraded version of those clips?
You can, and I will look into doing that. Yeah, I have to import it from the UK, but it's not very expensive, and it is supposed to only take about 10 minutes. So, yeah.
I'm glad that the car feels better to shift.
For sure.
I feel like people who like older cars like we do, you get the car and then you don't really know how much of the car's original feel has gone away in things that have just gotten old over the time.
Yep.
And so it's interesting to hear because your car is not that old or not in that bad of condition, but you said it was like night or day.
Yeah, it was a huge difference for sure. And then also they showed me like the old parts that had been removed, and the clutch had clearly been slipping. It was low on material anyway. The flywheel was pretty well scorched.
Yeah.
The fork that actuates the release bearing, the mechanic said was just straight up not moving and was likely a large part of why it broke to begin with. So
okay.
good to have replaced
Yeah.
all of the things.
Yeah.
We would also like to thank the person in the super chat who partially paid
Yes.
for Grant's clutch to be repaired.
Very much.
Yeah.
It was
That
like
was so cool.
I don't know exactly the number, but it was like 114,000 yen.
Yep.
And we'd also like to thank Derek for also paying for a portion of that, because they sent in the super chat and YouTube takes their percentage, and then Derek just gave that amount of money.
I didn't even think about that.
good-
Yes,
good
thank you.
boss.
Just well, I would want to make sure that everybody knows these important things. Yep. Well, the intent for that person was to pay that much, and Grant should receive that much. I just felt like it was fair.
This guy's
Appreciated, yes, all around.
Oh, and who lent you the BB?
Also Derek,
I'm
yes.
sorry, we'll get off this topic.
Yes.
Thank you, Grant, for sharing your story about that.
Yo.
Let's move on to the next guy here. We have to mention something. It is big news.
Big news.
Yesterday ended, it was the final day of June, and June was our top sales ever for a month at PCA. 117 cars we sold in June, so thank you to anyone who's watching that bought a car during that time. And potentially we can have big news again in the future if we go and sell even more than that. But 117 is a lot of work, and it happened during the time where Mike the previous office manager is gone, and so we're running on a skeleton crew at the moment, but we still did record-breaking sales. So thank you also to all of the staff that helped put that together.
Thank you for saying thank you.
Okay. On to the next one, and this is kind of along the same lines of being skeleton crew. Jacob is going to a wedding in the UK, and he is the guy that does the majority of the reports. So when Jacob is gone, there will be no reports for you unless you're a car dealer.
Yeah.
We need to limit the amount of reports because I personally can't take on that many reports because I've got other things that are my things, Mike's things, and now Jacob's things are going to run me ragged.
Yeah.
Already at the moment, I'm working an extra hour to 2 hours at the end of most days of the week, and so I still play around in the office probably a little bit too much, but I want to enjoy my day at work as it is, and I don't mind working a little bit extra because for the most part I like my job. But once you've worked a certain amount of hours in a day, it can be like something that is normally like, okay, no problem, I will help you with that. It's like, okay, well, that takes 15 minutes to answer that one email. Okay, let's start.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, nobody as a customer has been able to see that in me, and that's what I hope. Nobody is immune to that, unfortunately.
We're all just human.
Yeah. So yes, starting today and ending June 15th, anyone who buys a car during that time is not going to be able to get a report unless you are a car dealer. The dealers, the reason why I made this judgment call is because the dealers rely on this for their way of purchasing and selling cars. And they are the ones that are so much more in need of a system that is consistent than a one-off buyer. So very sorry to you who wants a report and is not going to be able to get it. If you do really want to get a report, you can do it after July 15th. And even though Jacob's going to be gone from like July 14th to like, I don't know, 12 days after that or something like that, then still the way that transport works means that the cars, when he's gone, will not be arriving. And
At that time, yeah.
Yeah.
In regards to YouTube, we have lots of videos that we spread out every third day. So you're probably not going to see any gap for that, unless it was the past few days where we worked on the city video where I didn't get the time to publish anything on it. Yeah. Sometimes
I'm so looking forward to that S13 video. I think that car is just perfect.
If you have time, we can watch the driving video today.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if I'll have time. I haven't looked at my schedule yet. Last thing on the This Week at PCA before we go into the questions section is a little bit of a talk about the Land Cruiser FJ. So if you know, the FJ Cruiser that has been available in North America and was made as a North American vehicle now has a sequel. But the weird thing is it's not sold in North America. So we have the actual website here.
Oh, you want to show the website first?
We can show the picture that I took.
Okay.
The reason why I want to bring it up is because this car came out in May, and I have seen them on the road now 2 times. But the first time I saw one, I took a picture, and you can see the picture. And here is what it looks like. It is the next version of the FJ Cruiser, kind of. Do you want to know why kind of?
Yeah.
This the FJ Cruiser is based on the Hilux Surf platform, or the 4Runner platform, whereas this one is based on the Hilux pickup truck platform and is body on frame.
It doesn't look like a body on frame.
It doesn't, right?
It absolutely doesn't look like it. Yeah.
So this is part of their Land Cruiser lineup. So now we have Land Cruiser 300, 250, 70, and Land Cruiser FJ. So 4 different Land Cruisers that you can get at the moment.
Yeah. Goes to show how much people like the trucks.
I think the FJ Cruiser has been, like the old version of the FJ Cruiser has been discontinued now. But I don't know because it's not a market vehicle that we really... It was made for a U.S. market vehicle. It wasn't sold here in Japan until people were importing them on a high enough number that Toyota... I think this is what happened. Toyota started selling them like 4 years after they originally came out.
Yeah.
And they did very well here.
Mr. Gularu just joined. Hello.
You missed a good episode. Go back and watch it. And this is sold only in Asia. And it is based off of a version of the Hilux pickup truck. Well, it's based off of the Hilux pickup truck platform, but I didn't realize this. There's a version of the Hilux pickup truck called the Hilux Champ, which is an emerging market version of the Hilux pickup truck that is much cheaper.
There you go.
Here's a picture of it, and you can see the similarities. It has the same front end on it. But then back from the A-pillar is all different. And then it's a pickup truck. And it looks incredibly dumb. But at the same time, it's a Toyota truck. So what are Toyota truck owners going to do? They're like, on the one hand, it looks dumb, but I can't help myself. It's a Toyota truck.
Yeah.
Comes with either the 2-liter or 2.7-liter gasoline 2TR engine, an ancient engine. 25-year-old engine. Maybe even more. And in Japan, only the 2.7-liter 4-cylinder. I don't know about transmissions. I think it's auto only here. It would make sense from a marketing point of view, but definitely the manual transmission would make sense in the Hilux Champ edition. And it is smaller than the 250 by a decent amount. I've got the sizes here. So compared to the 250 Land Cruiser, it's 35 centimeters shorter and 12.5 centimeters narrower, and oddly 9 centimeters taller than the already tall 250. And so it's got a little bit awkward of proportions. It's got this new Toyota thing of making the car bigger than it needs to be. This is where I don't really fall in love with the car. I feel like Toyota was honest.
I'm gonna say,
Toyota
in regards to the height of the car, we just shot those Hilux pickup trucks yesterday. They are fairly skinny and tall.
Yeah,
Maybe they were going for that retro tall boy look.
could be. I think
Maybe.
that
I don't
that the styling is fine, but it definitely has a little bit bro styling, like the big face pickup, like Ford pickup truck, GMC pickup truck, big face look. And I think that, like, to me, I'm not really in love with that because the Land Cruisers were always big and always had kind of that feeling, but it was for a reason. Like, they needed to fit in a big inline 6-cylinder iron engine that you had to have a big hood like that. And now we've got a little 4-cylinder and the front end is twice as big as the other ones with the same engine.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's the
see
same
your
engine
point.
that's
I
in
see
the
your point.
Dyna.
Yeah.
It seems to me like marketing had a bigger finger in the soup than anything else. I'm making up expressions.
Finger in the soup. Nice.
So there it is. It starts at 4.5 million yen here in Japan, sold in Japan, Asia, Africa, Middle East, and Latin America, and weighs 2 tons, 1,960 kilograms.
God damn.
Big, heavy boy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, and the Hilux Champ, $14,000 to $17,000, literally a third of the price.
Okay, Q&A, and you can open these at the same time.
Okay, so you look through the Q&A while I'm doing this.
Yeah, so we got a few questions from.
I want to announce these first.
Yeah.
So the candy that we're going to be tier listing today is called.
F.
You have to put this into your mouth.
I know.
It's weird that I've got the power to do that. So this is an ume candy. Ume is sour plums, and it is a staple of Japanese food going back centuries, probably. They are a oftentimes fermented type of food that you would eat together with rice because it is extremely potent in flavor. It's a very polarizing taste, with most foreigners not liking the taste because it's so different from what they are used to. For me, I like the flavor of ume, but it is very easy to overpower. And so, like, ume potato chips or ume senbei, I quite like because the flavor's good.
Me too, yeah.
But these candies, I've had them before, and they can be painfully difficult to eat. And because they're hard candy, they last in your mouth for a good long time. So, there you go.
Here we go.
Anyone who's not on the show, I'm going to give them a choice of whether they want to eat it or not. So, Grant, is there anyone in the back that wants to put ume in their mouth?
Anybody? Sayo says yes.
Sayo wants one.
You're not allowed to give a rating unless you eat it. Can someone come and get?
Oh, that might be the thumbnail face that I just made.
That was the filth face, right?
No, it was the I don't like.
So it's a hard candy with like a core of some sort inside it.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not too bad. It's just different.
It's way sweeter than I thought. There's a
at the
chili
same
candy
time,
version that's not sweet, and it is, I couldn't swallow it.
It is sweet, but at the same time, it tastes exactly like the umeboshi potato chips. It's really
It
weird.
tastes like fake umeboshi flavor. Sort of like fake banana. It doesn't really taste like banana.
Better or
actually
worse
good.
with time? Better or worse with time, Gregor said. I'm going to wait to answer that question until I get to the point where there's something in the middle.
So we'll keep it in our mouths. We'll answer some questions, and then we'll go back to the tier list.
Really good for talking, actually.
Yeah, well, they get to find out something that you can't find out on any other show. How good is the Ume hard candies?
Leto 18 from the last show. When it comes to the snack segment, I vaguely recall Haichu being mentioned before on a previous episode, but I didn't recognize it on the tier list. So just curious what you guys think about it.
Haichu has many different flavors, and we have already broken the seal with flavors. We have, for example, the Camu Camu lemon flavored version. We have the Kit Kat ice cream flavored version, and several others that come in different flavors as well. And so I think that we have to do each Haichu as its own flavor.
Mm-hmm. The apple ones are my favorite. Absolutely, yes.
Haichu are definitely one of the top candies in Japan. There's a reason why you can buy them in all sorts of other countries now, because they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a chance in your country to find Haichu, it's usually HI-CHEW, I think is the English version of it. Yep. Haichu.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. But we're not going to tier list it quite yet because it's too easy.
Yeah. Next question. I can't speak with that thing in my mouth.
I didn't get that until I saw your face. Excuse me, Max.
From the city video, which car do you regret the most seeing go through the auctions that you didn't get?
I picked out 3 for this. I had to think about it a little bit, but I got 3 that absolutely hurt me. And one of them was just recently, like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is a E190 Evo 2. This one was for a customer, not for me specifically. And I just picked a picture off the internet. I don't know if this is a real one. It might not be, but this is basically what it looks like. It is the DTM homologation car for Mercedes-Benz. It's basically the competitor to the E30 M3.
Mm-hmm.
And they come from the factory with a dogleg transmission, so your first gear is in the wrong spot, which is all sorts of fun. And we had somebody bidding on it that wanted to bid the equivalent of about $100,000 US, and this was, I think, about 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, it was a healthy bid. There was a very good chance that we would get it. So we're bidding on it, and the price is really high. And you know where the story's going. We ended up not getting it, but not for the reason you might think. Keep bidding. We're videotaping it. We're recording it. We no longer use videotapes. And it takes a long time to get all those bids in for such an expensive car. And the reserve was already released, and I go to point out something on it, and I touch the screen. And this is on a new computer that we just got in the office, and we didn't realize that computer had a touch screen. So the cursor location, which was used to make the bids, now moved to somewhere else without realizing it. So Mike's bidding, continuing thinking that he's bidding. He's like, what's going on? What's going on? And it happened to be at the exact time as the bids were coming to the very end bids. And it only lasts like 3 or 4 seconds past the last bid before it sells to somebody. And as soon as we realized, we tried to get the cursor back there to bid, but we're not fast enough, and it sold to somebody else.
For less than the maximum bid?
For less than what we were going to bid by a significant amount. Like 3 million yen less. And it hurt so much because, for one, we want to sell these very iconic, very hard to buy cars to our customers. We let down our customer there.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many other chances we were going to get to, like, I've got these unicorn cars, the cars that are in my mind, the cars that I want to take a look at and I want to buy just so I can, like, it's a notch in the belt, even though that expression is usually pretty negative, but, like, I want to sell all these iconic cars that I love, and this is one of the top ones, and I screw up on that.
Yeah. Hard for you personally and also hard for the customer.
Yeah.
It's a double loss.
Terrible.
The next one that you thought
The next one
about.
doesn't have so much of a story. It's just I didn't have space for another car, but it is one of those cars that you are never, ever, ever going to see come up for auction because nobody cared for these. They didn't think a little turbo Tercel was ever going to be anything, and it really isn't. It's just something for me because it very much is the 80s of Japan put into an automotive package and able to be experienced 30 years on. The pop-up headlights on a Tercel, Yes. Turbo engine, intercell? Yes.
Yeah. It's
Things
something-
that were only available in Japan for the most part. Like this was also sold as the Corolla 2 in other markets and there's stuff like that. But this is absolutely up my alley. And the fact that it's not a well-known car is actually more appealing to me. Like if I drive the city around, people know it, which in itself is really cool. But the feeling that I get when I see a car that I've never seen before, and I'm like, oh, what is that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a turbo. I want to provide that to people, and this car would do that. And I just didn't have the ability to buy it when it came up a month ago, and I'm so sad we didn't buy it for a customer.
Timekeeping, Derek. Before you go to, we have drop-offs and pickups at 1.
Yeah.
And we got a bunch of questions that I still want to go through. I'm sorry to keep you on. And the last one, we actually bid on one of these. This is a Gran Turismo picture, by the way.
Is it?
Yep.
So this is the one that we came up for auction. Again, this is one I wanted for myself. It's an R30 Skyline, but made to look like the Group A super silhouette Nissan Skyline. The one that we found was just like this one, the R30 early model, which I think the late model looks better with the different headlights. But this one that we found looked just like this one, but it wasn't in a video game. And it sold for only like 1.8 million yen or something like that. And
What?
I was thinking...
Damn.
I was thinking like, oh my god, the amount I would have paid up to 3 million for one, regardless of the condition. If it's got the kit, that's what you're paying it for.
Mm-hmm.
And just like there aren't too many of them that are modified with a kit, they're probably mostly one-offs. And really bummed that I didn't end up getting that because it's one of my all-time favorite cars. Okay,
Quick fire chat questions from today.
let's do it.
4th gen Prelude, is it hard to find?
Yes, the Prelude was sold
On a scale of
in-
1 to 10.
Oh, yeah. 8.
Okay, next question. Have you ever had 2 customers bid on the same car? What do you do in that situation?
It happens frequently. So we never tell a customer that we have a competing bid, and there's good reason for that, but it's a little bit unintuitive. We will set whatever bid you had at whatever price, and we will keep our mouths shut about any competing bids. If you are the higher of the 2 bids, then yours gets to be entered. We have deliberated this and have run through our mind a lot of the different reasons why we would have different policies, and that's, at the end of the day, the one that I feel is the most fair for everybody involved. If we are going to do a back and forth with customers, letting them know when they have been outbid, this is going to put pressure on you to overbid in hopes that you're going to outbid the other person, and it takes up an awful lot of our time going back and forth between these people when we've got other work to do.
Yeah.
And it also puts us in a position where there has to be a line drawn. The auction is coming up. We can't be sitting and hovering to check to see if we've got that email to the very last second. So we are in a situation where we're easy to take on a failure point. And this is something as a company that you always have to be aware of. Where are the weaknesses where you can give bad service? And if you're doing the back and forth with somebody and then it gets to the point 10 minutes before, but you ended up getting distracted with something else and you weren't on the email, then they're like, why didn't you catch my email? A point of failure. And so bid what you think that the car is worth, and then if there are competing bids, you won't know about it unless the very rare occurrence of you losing the bid for less than your high bid, which sucks. So you'll bid 2 million yen and the car will sell to 1.6 million to someone else, but they had bid 2.3 million. So they're the priority in that case. And it does happen. It doesn't happen a lot, and it sucks when it happens, and we go through the process of explaining why we do things this way, but at the end of the day, it still hurts feelings, and that's unfortunately price to pay for picking that policy.
This situation was the most complicated situation to figure out for the new auction tool, because it shows you
Yeah.
that it shows you the disclaimer and how that's gonna go on.
Yeah.
Okay. Some countries have exemptions for lower tax for classic cars. Are dealers in Japan aware of that?
Nope.
Good.
Nope. Classic car dealers in Japan are
Just leave it at no.
for the most part, no.
What's the worst story of a car that we bought? Is it the camper stranded on the middle of the
Yeah,
intersection?
that's my favorite story because Mike pushed a camper.
Yeah.
Like one man pushing a giant camper. It was a huge camper too, one of those cam roads.
I think we shared that story multiple times by now.
Yeah, the engine just blew when it was in the middle of an intersection. Just boom, gone.
How expensive is it to get a Toyota Origin?
For being as rare and as cool as it is, it's honestly not too bad. But because it's rare, it's hard to nail down a price. The ones I've seen sold, I can remember thinking, that's actually not that bad for what it is.
I would expect somewhere in the low 2 millions range.
It seems about right. Or the Toyota Classic is the same type of car as the Origin.
Thoughts on the RX-8? Are you seeing anyone exporting them?
People don't care about the car, and I think it's an undervalued car.
Yeah.
Undervalued might not be the right word for it, but it's a car that needs more appreciation than it gets.
I agree.
Yeah.
I kind of want one too.
RX-8s are good. I have a lot of experience driving them, and I think they drive very nicely. I only wish they had a bit more power. But if you like ragging on cars all of the time, that solves the problem. You'll just be at high RPM all the time.
Why do you get a side eye for driving a Japan taxi in Japan?
And you're not a taxi?
Japan taxi.
Japan taxi?
You people on the side of the road will probably be like, and then you just drive past them. Right? Like, what's going on?
And then you go to like hang out with some friends, and you pick them up on that, and they'll be like, "What? Why? Why would you do that? Why? What's wrong with you?"
I got to the inside of the candy.
Is it good?
It's soft inside.
Oh, is it gross?
No, it's actually really good.
I'm very much enjoying this candy,
Yeah.
way more than I thought I would. It's
Same
not
here.
as harsh as the ume candies often
Yeah.
there.
Last question for today. How impossible is it to buy a Ute, half sedan truck from the land of Japan?
There aren't a lot of them here. There's the Toyota open deck if you want to consider that a ute. There are K trucks that have an open deck in the back, which you could consider a ute.
That's literally all I can think of is the deck van or the BB open deck.
The Mighty Boy, maybe?
Good luck finding one.
Well, there you go. That's the answer. It's hard.
Yeah.
10.
There are some imported ones, but they're very rare. Like
Yeah.
the Malu or whatever it's called.
Like
Holden?
one a year type rare.
Sunny truck.
Sunny truck is just a truck though, not a ute.
But the Sunny
If you
is-
lower it enough, maybe.
I think the Sunny truck is definitely gray area between ute and truck.
Yeah.
Same with the Mark 1 Golf pickup truck, which you won't be
Yeah.
able to find, and the mini pickup truck, which you can find, but you're paying all your money for them because they're very expensive.
Subaru ARM?
I've never heard of that. There's the Subaru. There's the Subaru
Brat.
Legacy.
Subaru Brat.
Oh,
I don't
It was
think the Brat was
auto-translate.
sold in Japan. I believe it's North America only.
I've seen them here, but they're very rare, and I think you might
Yeah.
be right about that. And then there's that weird Legacy one, but that wasn't sold here either. What was
Yeah.
that called?
I don't know.
Legacy. It was an Outback with a pickup truck back end.
Oh, that's right. They made the 4-door one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, never seen one of those here.
People say Baja? Baja?
Oh, yeah, the
That's what it's
Baja.
called. Yeah.
Baja? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Volkswagen Caddy, all the time, one of my favorite cars. That thing's fantastic.
But yeah, in general, I would say it is going to be slim to none to find a ute in Japan.
Okay,
So get your Sawzall.
I'm just going to press the outro and music button.
That's what you should do. I think it would be a funny
Wait.
thing if I'm trying to talk while you just press the button.
Tier list.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
Higher than I thought. I'm not a big fan of hard candies. For the most part, I want to
C.
break something.
I'm at C.
C sounds fair. Which is way higher than I thought. I was coming
Yeah,
into this
same.
expecting an F.
C.
I think it's definitely worth a try because it's a taste you'll only find here.
I haven't shared it, but there you go. Here. There is the tier list, and the suite is here. Now
we
go
need
back.
some more S tier.
Right?
We're very bell curvy, aren't we? This is the episode of talking about the bell curve.
So, thank you for joining today. Looking at difficult and hard to buy cars.
You know, we've got the outro where it just loops the music before the rapping comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we should make it a thing where we try to rap.
No. Anyway, thank you. Go watch the city video if you haven't,
Absolutely, it's
and
really
buy
good.
cars from us.
And then you won't be in the dark when it comes to the driving video in case we reference something.
Yeah. See you next time.
Well, goodbye. So long, cause we really gotta go. See you next week on the Cool JDM show.
But Abs,
What up?
I got so much on my plate.
Man, relax. Let me demonstrate. Put your headphones on and start multitasking. Listen to the show while running some laps. Then stretching your calves. Then go have a bath. Then let the cat out. Then let the cat back in. Then let it back out again. Then let
Yeah,
it.
we can move on from the cat thing, Abs. I get it.
Oh, really? Then get this, Mr. Smartass. You can also listen while attending an art class.
Damn, Abs, you did it again.
Yeah. Just don't forget to tell a friend. The cool JDM show, the coolest around. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell the whole damn town. Tell the doctor, tell the nurse, tell the secretary, tell the librarian in the library. Tell the cop trying to give you a speedy ticket.
Officer, the cool JDM show, don't listen.
To which you'll reply, you're free to go, cause that podcast is so unbelievable.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna tell everyone that I know
To tune in to the cool JDM show.